I wake up with my face planted on my desk, heart hammering. What the hell? My head is splitting. I rub my forehead and try to piece things together. Right? I was playing Tiger and Leopard Cavalry on Steam. Spent 300 yuan on the Xianding Death Squad and Wuhuan Cavalry DLC. Was about to drop into a high-tier battlefield. And then, nothing. Just blacked out. I figure I was just exhausted. Look around the dorm. Empty. Roommates all gone. I get up to wash my face, and before I even touch the door handle, bang! The whole double-layered iron door shutters like something massive just rammed it from the outside. Then this sound, this low, guttural woo-woo roaring like nothing human could make. My hand jerks back. I stare at that door and my blood goes cold. What is that? That's when I notice it. The silence. The dorm building should have people, guys playing games, yelling whatever. The school's running a basketball tournament today, sure, and most of the student body is over there. But there are still thousands of students on campus. The dorm building shouldn't be this quiet. Not a single voice. Not a single sound besides those roars, over and over. Bang! Another hit on the door. That snaps me out of it. I spin around and sprint to the window at the back of the dorm. Please be fine. Please be fine. I yank the curtains open, and my brain explodes. A flood of information that doesn't belong to me crashes into my skull all at once. Spiritual energy returning to the ancient era. Technology reseeding. Cold weapons reviving. White fog covering everything. Equal competition for all things. Live if you live, die if you die. 100 cities descending from the sky. A glimmer of survival. The seat of the heavenly city. The co-lord of the 9 provinces. That's the message. Some supreme will from another world just downloaded it straight into my soul. And somehow, even though it sounds obscure, I understand every word of it instantly. I stare out the window. The campus is drowned in thick white fog. Shapes are moving in it. Wandering, shambling shapes. Dozens of them. Maybe hundreds. I am shaking. I took one nap and the apocalypse showed up, just like that. Are there really legendary immortals out there? But as unbelievable as it all seems, that information that went straight into my soul leaves no room for doubt. The apocalypse has really arrived. I'm not dreaming. This is real. I check the clock on my desk, stuck at 4 in the afternoon. I try the lights. Nothing. Phone, completely dead. Everything that mysterious voice said is coming true. I sit down on my bed, feeling completely lost. I'm an orphan. Apart from some small social welfare funding, my entire university tuition came from scholarships and part-time jobs. Like every other Chinibi teenager, I fantasized about the apocalypse arriving and me becoming a hero, slaughtering my way through everything. But now that it's actually here, I feel lost. More than anything, scared. Fear of the unknown. If nothing went wrong, by this summer, I'd be graduating and going out to work. I muttered to the empty room with a bitter face. Bang, bang, bang. The door's getting hammer harder. Those roars are clearer now, closer, mixed with the sound of something terrible. Whatever's out there is about to break in. I grit my teeth and stand up. I need to block the door with the desk by the entrance. But I don't even make it there. Crack. The door, which was supposed to be pretty sturdy, collapses inward. 6 monsters appear in the doorway. Ugly doesn't cover it. Ferocious faces, pitch-black fangs dripping with something dark and foul. I fall backward onto the floor. Their eyes are locked on me, bloodthirsty, hungry, inhuman. I've never seen anything like these creatures. My face fills with despair. This is it. I'm dead. And I am really, really unwilling to die like this. Ding. Activating Tiger and Leopard Cavalry System. Ding. Tiger and Leopard Cavalry System beginning binding with host. Binding successful. Beginning activation. Ding. Because the Tiger and Leopard Cavalry System is being activated for the first time. The host is specially rewarded with 1 random lieutenant summoning opportunity and 1 random item drawing opportunity. A mechanical voice blasts through my head. What? Tiger and Leopard Cavalry System? My game? I almost jump up off the floor, but 5 or 6 monsters are already leaping at me, claws out, fangs bared. No time to think. I roar inside my head. I want to summon a lieutenant. Ding. Now beginning to randomly summon a lieutenant. Ding! Congratulations to the host for summoning the ancient Alai General Dianwei. The air pressure in the room changes instantly. Something massive materializes between me and the monsters. A man built like a mountain, radiating an aura so heavy and overwhelming it hits like a physical shockwave. The 6 charging monsters get blasted backward into the hallway wall and can't get up. I am here. Who dares to harm my lord? I'm on the floor, staring up at this impossible figure, my expression full of disbelief. This was actually summoned. The system voice comes back in my head, explaining the tiger and leopard cavalry system underwent an unknown mutation and is bound to me. I can not only unlock units from Wei, Shu, and Wu, I can also summon famous civil officials and military generals from the entire Three Kingdoms period. A semi-transparent screen pops up in front of me. Same interface as the game. Warehouse, Vice General, Barracks, Upgrade. The tabs are all there in the top left corner. But the currency displays, copper coins, gold coins, reputation, military merits, are gone. The Battlegate and market are gone too. Still, when I see that familiar layout, my originally pale face flushes red with excitement. I reach out and tap barracks. The 8 starter barracks appear. 2 of them have units stationed. Tier 5 Wuhuan Cavalry. Tier 8 Xianding Death Squad. The units I paid real money for. They're still here. My breathing hitches, then gets heavy. Great. They were actually saved. Doesn't that mean I can? Ding. Detected a unit that does not match the host's current strength. The unit is temporarily sealed and cannot be summoned. Please raise your strength as soon as possible, host. The icons go dark. I almost curse out loud. What do you mean they don't match my strength? If they don't match, why show them to me? Isn't this just torture? I ask when I can summon them. Ding. Host strength is too low. Please raise your strength as soon as possible, host. Same answer. Useless. My lord, are you okay? General Dian weighs deep. Rumbling voice pulls me out of my frustration. I come back to my senses, shake my head, and stand up from the ground. When I look at this fierce-faced, burly man in front of me, information about him flashes before my eyes. General Dianwei. Alai. Ancient Alai. Strength. Xiantian late stage. Cultivation method. Villain scripture. Earth tier. Weapon. Twin iron halberds. Yellow tier mid-grade. Upgradable. Loyalty. 100 out of 100. It's really him. The Dianwei from the Three Kingdoms. The peerless fierce general, unmatched in infantry combat. The guy who fought alone against Zhang Xiao and nearly 100 of his subordinates to protect Cao Cao. That's how fierce he was. And now he's actually been summoned to my side. If anyone knew about this, they'd be dumbfounded. But now's not the time to geek out. The priority is getting out of this dormitory and figuring out what happened outside. Alai, how do those 6 monsters out there compare to your strength? He glances outside at the 6 monsters suppressed by his aura, and pure disdain crosses his fierce face. My lord, these 6 monsters are nothing but clay chickens and pottery dogs to me. Even if 100 or 1,000 more came, I could kill them all. I am skeptical. He looks slightly annoyed, doesn't say another word. Just picks up his twin iron halberds and walks outside. The 6 monsters are trying to get up, rotting faces dripping black liquid from their mouths. When they see Dianwei coming toward them, they sense death itself and start wailing for mercy. He's completely unmoved, walks right up to them, lets out a low shout, and swings those twin halberds down with lightning speed. Bang, 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 for skulls crushed in seconds. Black blood splatters out, and a thick, foul stench fills the air immediately. Back in the dormitory, I've never seen anything like this. Nausea hits me hard, and I start retching. It takes a long while before I can suppress it. I look up and see Dianwei about to finish the last 2. Wait a lot. I walk out there, fighting the urge to gag, and stand next to him. Close up. The monster corpse with half its skull smashed is even worse. Another wave of nausea. But I force myself to endure it. I look at the last 2 monsters leaning against the wall, unable to move. Something hardens in my eyes. Alai, let me kill these 2 monsters. Since the apocalypse arrived, I understood my old life is gone. If I want to survive, I have to adapt. And to activate the units in the Leopard cavalry system, I have to do this. Dian Wei hands me one of his iron halberds without a word. I grab it and immediately stumble. This single halberd weighs 40 caddies. If Dian Wei hadn't caught me, I'd have eaten floor in front of my own summoned general. My face goes red. I grip it with both hands, take a deep breath, lift it up, close my eyes, let out a roar, and swing forward. Ding! Killed a Hotion level 1 zombie. Gained 30 experience points. Ding! Killed a Hotion level 1 zombie. Gained 30 experience points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for winning a very small-scale war. Gained 100 experience points. Gained 100 soldier experience points. Strength increased to Hotion level 1. Activated personal profile template. It really works like this. A powerful, warm current surges from inside my body. Every minor ail I've ever had disappears. The iron halberd in my hands, which was impossibly heavy just seconds ago, feels much lighter. I understand now. With the great upheaval of the world and the arrival of the apocalypse, countless flora and fauna mutated under the frenzy of primordial energy. Most humans didn't survive. They turned into mindless zombies. Humans who survive can absorb the primordial energy released by killing zombies or other mutated creatures, and that kicks off human evolution. A profile appears in my mind. Duyun. Current strength. Hotion level 1, 60 out of 200 EXP. Cultivation technique. None. Deputy General. General Dian Wei. Units commanded. Xianding Death Squad. Sealed. Wuhuan Cavalry. Sealed. The words online game flash through my mind. Isn't this exactly like those games where you kill monsters to level up? Except now it's reality. I need to level faster. So instead of rushing out of the building, I return the halberd to Dian Wei and have him lead me to start clearing this floor of the dormitory. Floor 4 of Building 7. Nearly 15 other rooms besides mine, all quiet. The long corridor is covered in blood. Mutilated corpses everywhere. Some of them are classmates from the class next door. I can't recall their names, but the terror frozen on their faces before death makes my chest feel heavier and heavier. At the same time, I'm grateful I bolted my door before passing out. Dian Wei sees my expression and suggests I wait while he kills everything. I shake my head. It's fine. I'm just not used to it yet. It'll be better in a while. Also a lie, if we encounter zombies, you just restrain them. I'll kill them myself. Very well. He agrees reluctantly. Room 405. Doors unlocked. Either nobody's inside or they've already turned. Dian Wei walks over and knocks. The second he does, roars erupt from inside, followed by violent door slamming. This time he doesn't wait for my signal. He kicks the door open. 3 zombies inside, foul-smelling. They charge screaming. Dian Wei waves his halberd lightly and beats them half dead. They collapse. I step up, take the halberd, and finish them, bang, bang, bang. Another 45 EXP. Wait, 45. Last time it was 30 per kill. I asked the system why. Ding, the host did not kill the enemy independently, so the obtained EXP is automatically halved. The first time was to improve the host's adaptability, which is why no EXP was deducted. And soldier EXP? Please discover it yourself, host. Fine. Half EXP is still EXP. At least it's safe. We keep going. A Xiantian expert as a bodyguard means I don't take a single hit. 20 kills on floor 4. Each time, Dian Wei swings his halberds and knocks the zombies off their feet or pins them to the ground. Then I step in with the iron halberd and finish them. Bang, bang, bang. The system pings with every kill. I'm getting faster, more efficient. The nausea fades with each one. By the 10th kill, I'm not even flinching at the black blood spraying across the walls. We go up to 30 zombies. More than floor 4. Some of these are bigger, faster. Level 2 S mixed in. But with Dian Wei holding them down, it doesn't matter. I take each kill. Then 6. Then 7. Then back down to 3. Every floor, every room, clear methodically. The corridor behind us becomes a graveyard of black-blooded corpses. Along the way, I grab any food and water I find, bread, instant noodles, bottled water. The system warehouse can store outside items hundreds of cubic meters of space. Otherwise, there's no way I could carry everything. 2 hours later, I sliced the head off the last zombie in Building 7, the old door manager. A few days ago, he was a stern old man telling us to keep quiet, checking room lights, making sure we followed the rules. Now, he's a headless corpse on the lobby floor, his zombie body still twitching. Even though I've gotten somewhat numb to the killing, 2 hours of nonstop slaughter will do that to you. Thinking about who he was before makes my heart ache. What hits harder is that along the entire way, we didn't encounter a single living classmate. Not one. Every room we cleared was empty of survivors or full of the undead. Nothing in between. Could everyone be dead? I'm an orphan who's experienced the warmth and coldness, the kindness and cruelty of the world. I'm no bleeding heart. I wouldn't go rushing to play hero at the first sign of trouble. But thinking about the apocalypse hitting and not finding a single human being, a chill runs through my entire body. This situation is terrifying. The school has nearly 30,000 students. Where do they all go? Then the system saves me from spiraling. Ding. Congratulations to the host for breaking through a minor rank, raising your strength to Hotion level 4, and gaining one random item draw opportunity. And ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the side quest, clear the floor, and winning a very small-scale war, gaining 1,000 experience points and 1,000 soldier experience points. Another warm surge hits. My body gets strengthened again, several times over now. A smile finally cracks my worried face. No matter what, the most important thing right now is improving my strength. At this level, if I faced a level 1 zombie again, even without the halberd's edge, I could handle it in a few moves. I check my profile. Hotion level 4, 120 out of 5,000 EXP. Units still sealed. The gap to level 5 is massive, nearly 5,000 points. These level 1 zombies only give 1 EXP each now. Even if all 30,000 students in the school became zombies, I'd probably only reach level 6. But if they really all turned into zombies, I shudder and shake my head. That shouldn't have happened. Maybe while I was unconscious, they were already rescued by the troops. My stomach growls. Dianwei's dark face has a flush of red on it. We haven't eaten. I pull bread, biscuits, and water from the warehouse and teach him how to eat it all. My lord, is this bread? It is truly delicious. And these biscuits and water, if used as army rations, soldiers could persist for a very long time. He's clearly been hungry. Once he figures it out, he starts wolfing everything down, exclaiming between bites. I chuckle inside. This is just ordinary convenience store food. If I pulled out the white baijiu from the warehouse, he'd get addicted. But I don't want my only fighter drunk. If some powerful monster shows up, I'd be screwed. While he eats, I ask, General Dianwei, do you know how you came here? He talks with his mouth full. I'm the only seedling of the Dian family in Nanshan City. Mother said the chaotic times have already begun, so she let me come to seek refuge with my lord. Nanshan City? The chaotic times have begun? I am dazed. Could this be a memory the system automatically arranged for him? But then something clicks and excitement floods my face. I press him. General Dianwei, where is that Nanshan City? Is it an ancient city, the kind with city walls and city gates? Of course, Nanshan City has city walls and gates. And it's to the north, but it seems quite far from here. A few days' walk. Really? It's actually real. The mysterious voice mentioned 100 cities descending. Nanshan City must be a Skyfall city, an ancient city that literally dropped into this new world. And before the apocalypse, bordering Liang City was Zhongwen City, and under Zhongwen's jurisdiction was a county-level city called Nanshan City. If it's the same place, a cold wind blows past, and I shudder. I snap out of it. It's nothing, General Dianwei. You keep eating. I'll go to the door and take a look. I walk to the entrance. The iron gate is locked from the inside. Through the gaps, everything outside is a vast expanse of white. Eerie fog shrouds the entire world. Clumsy footsteps and roars echo from time to time. I stand there watching all of this, and a flicker of determination flashes in my eyes. 100 cities descending, common ruler of the 9 provinces. No matter what, I'll leave here alive, and then I'll find that Pingyuan city. But first, those 2 random item draws. System, I want to draw items. Ding. Congratulations. 10 strong bandages. Ding. Congratulations. 1 shield guard broadsword. My luck is absolutely insane. Strong bandages restore vitality. I know that from the game. But the shield guard broadsword? That's a 2-star weapon. In the Battle of Burning Luoyang, I watch players with these things cause entire rows of soldiers to fall with a single slash. It's 1.62 meters long, weighs 15 jin, divided into handle, guard, and blade. Yellow tier high grade after the system mutation. Since Dianwei's halberds are only yellow tier mid-grade, this is already better. What more could I want? I pull it out and can't wait to test it right away. The chain wrapped around the big iron gate. Deep breath. I mobilize my entire body's strength, feel the power converge into my hands, let out a low shout, and swing at the chain. Clang! The thick chain snaps instantly. Not a single nick on the blade. I'm grinning so hard my face hurts. Dianwei walks over, sees the blade, and his big eyes sparkle. Truly a good blade. This isn't considered that good. I say modestly, though I can't hide the pride on my face. But the noise was too loud. Several roars erupt from the white mist, and 4 or 5 terrifying zombies charge out. I want to test this blade. Alai, stay here and watch. I'll go kill them first. I pull open the iron gate and walk out before Dianwei can respond. Behind me, he scratches his head, doesn't follow, but keeps his halberds ready to support me if needed. These 5 are level 2, stronger than the dorm zombies, bigger builds. I'm not scared. I actually speed up. First zombie lunges, I sidestep to cross paths with it, raise the broadsword, and slash directly across its neck. Head flies off. Body keeps charging forward 3 or 4 meters before crashing down. 5 EXP. 3 more come me side by side. I swing horizontal. With level 4 strength and this blade's sharpness, all 3 get cut at the waist in 1 stroke. They hit the ground, and I finish them. 5 zombies in just over 10 seconds. The blade stays clean. Not a drop of blood sticks to it. Truly worthy of a yellow tier high-grade weapon. Only downside, no scabbard. I'll figure that out later. We head toward the basketball court. That's where the game was happening before I blacked out. If anyone survived, they'll know what happened. If they all turned, I'll take care of that too. The campus has transformed. The trees that used to line the school roads are now enormous. Branches spreading over 10 meters, trunks 2 people can't wrap their arms around, heights of several tens of meters, roots thick as arms bursting from the ground. The once shaded path is now a primordial forest. Every step feels like we're entering something ancient and hostile. The air is different too, heavier, thicker, like breathing through a wet cloth. I'm staring in shock when Dianwei suddenly senses something. His expression changes instantly. My lord, watch out. He shoves me sideways with one hand and retreats 3 or 4 meters himself. A vine thick as a tree limb whips out of the mist and slams the ground right between us. Boom! A deep mark is gouged into the flat ground. I got pushed out of the way in time, but the wind from the impact still leaves a bloody scratch across my face. Pain flares, blood trickles down. But I don't care about that. I grab the vine before it springs back up and slash with the broadsword. Clang! To my disbelief, the blade barely cuts through. Only a small nick. Could this vine be made of iron? The vine feels the pain and enrages. It lashes at me again like a whip. But this time it has no chance. Dianwei, who retreated to the side, sees the vine daring to attack his lord. A terrifying aura erupts from his body. Beast! How dare you harm my lord? His twin halberds come down with enough force to split the earth. Boom! The vine gets smashed, and the residual power blasts a large crater in the ground. The severed end, leaking dark green sap, retreats quickly into the mist. The fog ahead gradually disperses, and what's behind it makes even Dianwei's fierce face turn serious. A mutant weeping willow, 2 meters in diameter, over 10 meters tall, branches and leaves blotting out the sky. Thick roots spread all around, occupying the entire 6 or 7 meter wide road. Every willow branch hangs down to the ground like a whip, thick as a young man's arm, radiating terrifying power. The severed one is still dripping dark green sap. I focus, and the info appears. Mutant weeping willow. Strength, Xiantian late stage. Attack method, willow branch strangling. Same level as Dianwei. Those 4 words, Xiantian late stage, make me gasp. Alai, can you kill it? His serious expression shifts into a soaring, fighting spirit. I can try. Without waiting for my nod, he launches himself like a cannonball, halberds raised, charging straight at the mutant weeping willow. The willow senses danger. Its massive body trembles and 5 or 6 thick branches fly out to entangle him. Before he even lands, he sees the branches coming and doesn't dodge. Lets them wrap his entire body. The strangling force is enormous. His already dark face turns even darker, then red. The willow thinks it's won. It hisses with excitement, increasing the pressure, pulling him closer to its main trunk. It wants to devour this powerful human. But when he's 3 or 4 meters from the trunk, Dianwei's eyes go wide, and he lets out a fierce roar, "Open for me." His Xiantian late stage strength erupts completely. Crack, crack, crack. He snaps every branch like twigs, muscles bulging like a humanoid beast. He crosses the distance and brings both halberds down on the massive trunk. Boom! A sonic boom rips through the air. Bark and sap explode everywhere. The willow screams in pain. I cheer from a dozen meters away. If he kills this thing, the EXP could push me closer to unlocking a Tier 1 soldier. But the willow isn't done. It's too thick. Dianwei's strike carved 2 deep pits into the trunk, but it's not a mortal wound. Now completely enraged, it throws every branch and root it has at him. Branches whip from all directions. Roots on the ground wriggle like snakes and wrap his legs. He's buried. Enemies everywhere. He's forced to abandon offense, switching to defense, smashing every branch that comes at him. Bang, bang, bang. Every strike of those halberds destroys a branch. Every stomp crushes a root. But his stamina is burning fast, and the commotion is clearly alerting other mutants in the area. Thinking of my safety, he tears a path through the branches and bursts out. 10 minutes of watching from here, praying he doesn't die. I can hear his low shouts from within the mass of branches, still fighting, still alive. Finally, a familiar figure bursts out from the torn willow branches. Ira Sholvit. Alai, you're finally out. Quickly, let me see if you're injured. Here, this is a strong bandage. It can treat wounds. Hurry and wrap it around the injured area. My lord, I'm not injured, just a bit exhausted. He scratches his head and smiles honestly. Seeing the worry on my face seems to warm something in his heart. But I've disappointed you, my lord. In the end, I failed to kill that mutant weeping willow. Gil crosses his face. I don't feel any regret. The willow and Dianwei are both Xiantian late stage, and the willow had the size advantage. Its body was massive, roots covering the entire road. It was normal he couldn't kill it quickly. His safety matters more than some tree. Alai, no need to feel guilty. We can't kill it for now. Let's bypass it and head to the basketball court. We'll come back for it after we've resolved other matters. I'm already thinking, if I hit level 5, I might unseal the Wuhuan cavalry. Hodian level 7 soldiers with triple shot and fire arrows. They'd kite that tree to death from range. No matter how tough it is, it'll fall. We take a detour. More zombies and mutant cats and dogs along the way. Dianwei handles them effortlessly. The campus roads are a maze, long and short, some interconnected. We navigate toward the basketball court in the southwest. 15 more minutes of walking, killing a few stragglers along the way, and we reach the edge of the court. Even through the white mist, I can see shadowy figures moving inside. Dozens of them, maybe more. My heart sinks. Then, a ray of sunlight pierces through the fog from above. More and more light breaks through. The still scorching sun is completely revealed, and the white fog starts receding rapidly. Everywhere, the campus, the basketball court, the fog pulls back like a tide. In the blink of an eye, The campus that was filled with white mist is revealed again. Not a trace remains, and the basketball court is laid bare before me. 700 zombies, shuffling around on the concrete of 4 connected basketball courts. Men and women, all twisted into something hideous. Protruding eyes, pitch-black sharp teeth, every one of them a former student or staff member. I even recognize classmates from Class 2 in the crowd. Guys I lived with in the same dormitory for nearly 4 years. Guys who attended classes with me, ate in the same cafeteria. Even though we weren't close, even though I can't remember half their names, a wave of desolation washes over me. These were people. Yesterday, they were people. Is this the apocalypse? The sunlight and our living scent sends them into a frenzy. Low growls erupt continuously. They see us, 2 living people at the edge of the basketball court, and the rich scent of living flesh attaches them beyond control. Their eyes go blood red. Claws out, mouths open, they charge. The soccer field next door, a huge field right beside the basketball courts, empties its zombie horde toward us too. From every direction they come, stumbling, running, howling. A dense, stinking wave of death, 100 strong. The smell hits me like a wall, pungent, fishy, overwhelming. Even at Hotion level 4, I can't help but feel a chill run through my entire body. The desolation I felt just seconds ago gets shoved to the back of my mind. Survival instinct takes over. A lie. Kill. He charges in with excitement on his fierce face. His Xiantian late stage, true chi erupts. Wisps of energy gather on the halberds, pierce through, and transform into 2 halberd auras several zhang long. They enter the zombie horde with a massive roaring sound. Level 1, level 2, doesn't matter. They fall in rows like harvested wheat. Ha ha! Exhilarating. He's laughing, recklessly spending his true chi, standing like a great mountain. Nothing gets past him. I charge in 2, working the edges with my broadsword. I don't rush to join Dian Wei. I slaughter zombies on the periphery, staying mobile, staying alive. Slash, slash, slash. They're like paper now. Heads fly, black blood sprays. Bodies cut at the waist, upper halves still crawling on the ground, wailing. The shield guard broadsword sings through the air with every swing. These things that terrified me just hours ago are now just targets. System notifications keep pinging. I turn them off and focus on killing. The pile of corpses grows. Black blood pools on the concrete. The stench is unbearable, but I push through. Bit by bit, I work my way from the edge to Dianwei's side. Nearly 700 zombies, and he crushes 90% of them. I mop up the rest. When it's over, I'm gasping, hands trembling, sweat covering my forehead. My arms feel like lead. Dianwei? Clothes slightly disheveled. That's it. Not even breathing hard. I can't help a wry smile. My strength is still too low. But this situation will pass very soon. System rewards come through. 2,100 personal EXP from the kills, plus 1,200 EXP and 1,500 soldier EXP from the war bonus. Total, 3,300 personal EXP, 1,500 soldier EXP from this fight. I did most of the killing on the periphery, maybe 50 or 60 zombies by my own hand, but the war bonus is huge. Only 2,000 more personal EXP to level 5. Soldier EXP is still 7,000 short of unlocking Tier 1 troops. I need to clear the zombies in the school as fast as possible. The thought flashes through my mind with determination. Every zombie in this school is experience. Every experience point brings me closer to unsealing those units. But the noise was too loud. The pungent blood smell spreads, and zombies from across the campus come running. From every direction, one after another, a massive torrent. And mixed in are mutant cats and dogs, their strength at Hotion level 5, darting through the horde like lightning. Dianwei's expression goes grim. Even he's getting nervous. I can't stay here. I scan the area and spot the 52 Sierra Leonean Leones go supermarket dozens of meters to the northwest, right next to the school cafeteria. Corner building, solid walls on all sides except one thick glass door. Perfect defensive position. General Dianwei, let's go there. I take off running. He understands immediately and follows. We get there and look through the glass. No zombies inside. Instead, dozens of living people. My face lights up. I open my mouth to call out, but before I can say a word, a burly middle-aged man, probably a PE teacher, comes charging at the door from inside, screaming, "What are you doing? Who told you to run this way? Get lost. Damn it, we were hiding well here. I didn't expect you to bring so many zombies over. If you want to die, go die somewhere else. Don't drag us down with you." The other 20 or 30 survivors behind him look at us with the same terror and resentment. If he had a gun, he probably would have shot. I freeze. The hatred in their voices and eyes is thick. The words I wanted to say get stuck in my throat. My heart aches inexplicably. Is this what the apocalypse is like? I understand their anger. Before the system, I'd probably be the same, not let them in. But I won't abandon my plans because of their curses. In this apocalypse, I need to survive, and no one can stop me. The reason I chose this supermarket is simple: solid walls, narrow entrance. Wei stands at the door, and it doesn't matter how many zombies come. My expression goes cold. Alai, break the door open. He doesn't hesitate, steps forward, swings his halberds, and smashes the thick glass door. Crack, crack, bang. The entire door frame goes with it, crashing in front of the survivors. Glass shards fly everywhere, cutting people. Those who were so aggressive just seconds ago are now frozen silent, watching this burly figure walk in step by step. This isn't even human. Wei looks at these people, and his disgust deepens. Those who insult my lord die. He raises his blood-stained halberds. I stop him. Wait, Alai. Don't worry about them for now. Deal with the zombies outside first. He resentfully pulls back. I'll spare your lives for now. After I deal with those zombies, I'll settle accounts with you. He turns and walks to the entrance. The survivors collapse on the ground, gasping for air. That moment when Wei raised his halberds, they felt the Grim Reaper's hand on their necks. The PE teacher, especially, is filled with regret. He realizes he was incredibly stupid. The person who survived the basketball court siege unscathed is clearly no ordinary person, and he cursed them out. The people who followed his lead are already distancing themselves from him. Then the horde hits. Nearly 1,000 zombies and mutant animals, drawn by the scent of living people. The stench floods in. Everyone goes pale with despair. I tell Wei, the rest is up to you. He takes the 2-meter-wide entrance like a wall of bronze and iron. His fighting spirit rises. Waves of powerful aura blow outward like wind, making the hair on my arms stand up. My lord, please rest assured. I will not let a single monster rush in. Confidence fills his dark face. The ground shakes. Nearly 1,000 zombies running causes the entire ground to vibrate. The first one hits the steps, and a massive torrent collides with Wei at the entrance. His aura peaks. His eyes widen, and a piercing light shoots out. Evil soul, twin halberd slash. A heaven-shaking roar erupts from his mouth. He stands at the entrance like a giant mountain. His twin iron halberds, wrapped in dense light, slam down with terrifying force. 2 streaks of halberd light shoot out, growing larger and larger until they become 2 terrifying, nearly 10-meter-long halberd shadows. A massive dark figure rises behind him, gripping phantom halberds, and slams them into the horde. Boom! Boom! Countless zombies are instantly smashed into meat paste. A 12-meter-deep crater blasted into the ground. Nearly 100 zombies shredded in a single strike. The remaining halberd shadows pass through the horde and blast another deep pit over a dozen meters long. The mutant animals that survive scatter and flee, smart enough to know death when they see it. 2 or 3 unlucky ones got caught in the blast. The rest turned and ran, relying on their animal instinct for survival. The remaining zombies stumble, reform, charge again. Pointless. Wei is a wall. One by one they lunge, and one by one they die. We watch from inside in stunned silence. The 1 against 1,000 feet you only see in books, happening in reality, against zombies that feel no pain and possess strength far exceeding normal humans. Wei looks like a god of war from behind, even taller than before. The survivors behind me are speechless. Some are trembling. Finally, the last zombie falls. Silence. He turns around slowly. Blood and killing intent roll off him like he just walked out of a mountain of corpses. The temperature drops. When he walks in, the aura becomes even more intense. Everyone except me can't suppress the churning in their stomachs and starts vomiting violently. The supermarket fills with every foul odor imaginable. I need to get to the back. There's a fruit and dessert section back there. But 7 or 8 of the men shift uncomfortably. The PE teacher starts to say don't, and I cut him off cold. What? Is there a problem? He breaks into a cold sweat, forces a smile. Hey, it's nothing. I just wanted to ask who this person beside you is. His strength is truly formidable. And since the zombies are all killed, there are other students who need rescuing. Why don't we go check other areas with you? Several others nod eagerly. That's right. Let's hurry and save the others. I sneer inside. When we first arrived, these people viciously tried to drive us away. Now, they suddenly want to save others? Only a ghost would believe that. They're hiding something. Before I can act on it, Dianwei speaks up. My lord, I sense the presence of 5 living people in the deepest part of the supermarket. The PE teacher and his crew flinch violently. Afraid, I tell Dianwei to watch them and head to the back myself, broadsword in hand. A few steps through the aisles. Wooden platforms with fairly fresh fruit and desserts. The place has been rummaged through, but there's still stock. I turn toward the west, where the breathing sound are coming from, and my blood turns to fire. 3 female students, 2 young female teachers, tied to the ground with towels binding their hands and legs, mouth stuffed with socks. Clothes torn to shreds, completely naked. Not a single patch of unbruised skin on any of them. Between their forcibly spread legs, a bloody mess. The apocalypse has been here less than 2 days, and some people have already exposed the most evil side of human nature. In a school, I can imagine what inhuman torture they suffered. My heart goes cold. My eyes go blood red. Teeth gnashing. Something snaps. I swing the broadsword in a vicious arc. It whistles through the air and roar. Whoever they are, they all deserve to die. I don't go over to untie them. I turn around and walk back the way I came. I march straight up to the PE teacher and put the blade against his neck. Speak. Who did what happened in the back? He stammers, plays dumb. What happened? I don't know what you mean. He knows he can't say it. If he does, he's dead. I mutter. If you don't know, then forget it. And I slash. His head flies off, rolls a few times on the ground before coming to a stop. His eyes are wide open until the end, disbelief. He actually dared to do it. First time I've killed a person. I thought I'd feel uncomfortable. I feel nothing, even a hard-to-conceal excitement. Maybe they couldn't even be called human anymore. I turn my body and cast my gaze onto the others. Whether it's the PE teacher's death or my cold ruthlessness, the remaining survivors look at me like I'm a living, bloodthirsty demon. The survivors stare at me like I'm a living, bloodthirsty demon. Before I even speak, someone breaks. It's him. It was him and Wu Yun who did those things. It has nothing to do with me. Wu Yun must have been the PE teacher. The pointed-out male teacher goes ferocious. You dare spout nonsense. Do you believe I'll kill you? But more people stand up and point fingers. In a moment, 13 out of the 29 survivors had participated in what happened to those 5 women. Under my cold stare and Dianwei's presence, all 13 dropped to their knees. We were wrong. Please don't kill us. It's the apocalypse now. There are only 2 of you. As long as you don't kill us, we'll listen to everything you say in the future. Please spare us. We were all forced by that Wu Yun. Please fill the entire supermarket. Pathetic. A few minutes ago, these same people were telling us to go die somewhere else. Now they're begging for their lives. The apocalypse changes people fast, but it also reveals who they really were all along. Dianwei looks at me. My lord, what should we do? Do you want me to kill them? I look outside through the entrance. Piles of zombie corpses, pungent blood scent. In the distance, more stumbling figures approaching. I take a deep breath. Kill all 11 who knelt. As for the others, they didn't participate, just watched without stopping it. Let them fend for themselves here. I ignore the screams behind me and start collecting food, water, and supplies from the supermarket shelves. In the back, I untie the 5 victims. They seem to know what happened outside. The screams, the blade, the thud. They give me a look of gratitude, and then every one of them bashes her head against the wall. I could have stopped them. I had the ability, but I didn't. In this precarious apocalypse, both Jianwei and I have to tread carefully, let alone for 5 powerless girls who've been through something no one should survive. Perhaps death is a form of relief. I sigh inwardly. I sweep up all the good fruit, slash through the wall to completely block the back room entrance. I don't want anyone, or anything, going in there after what I saw. The memory of those 5 girls is burned into my mind. I'll never forget it. Then I return to the checkout counter. 11 more corpses on the floor. Jianwei didn't hesitate. The remaining dozen survivors are slumped against the wall, pale as wax, trembling. They see me, and something sparks in their eyes. Hope, desperation. Please take us with you, they beg. Alai, let's go. I walk straight out. Jianwei follows. They wail and plead, but they can't move. 100 zombies pour into the supermarket as we cross the corpse pile. Screams erupt inside. I know those dozen won't survive. My expression barely changes. This is the apocalypse. No one can rely on others to save them. You save yourself, or you don't make it. Even with the system, I don't know how many dangers are waiting. One wrong move, and I'm in an abyss. The screams fade behind us. I don't look back. We head to the cafeteria next door. On the way, I check my stats. Ost, Duyun. Strength, Hotian level 4, 3,945 out of 5,000 EXP. Soldier EXP, 3,100. Items, 1 shield guard broadsword, 10 strong bandages. The system rewarded me another 500 personal and 500 soldier EXP from Jianwei, clearing the zombies alone, plus a random item draw. I am excited. I wonder what kind of treasure I can draw. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a yellow grade, low-tier martial skill. 1 copy of basic saber technique. Does the host wish to use it immediately? A martial skill? Not a weapon. I'm a bit disappointed. But a basic saber technique isn't bad. I can use it right now. Use. Boom. Information floods my brain like a torrent. I nearly lose consciousness for a second. When I come to, my mind is filled with saber techniques. Cleave, chop, sweep, slash, every stance, every angle, burned into my muscles like I trained for over a dozen years. As easy as moving my own arm. I swing the blade and actually cut a burst of energy in the air. Jianwei's eyes light up. It seems the Lord's strength has improved again. I just gained some insights into using the saber. I smile modestly, but inside I'm thrilled. The difference between before and now is professional versus amateur. I swing the blade to familiarize myself with the moves as we walk. By the time I stop, we're at the entrance of the first floor cafeteria. No zombies inside. Probably wasn't mealtime when the apocalypse hit. The place is slightly dim, but otherwise undamaged. Food carts still in their places. I start looting. Bowls and chopsticks from all 4 carts into the warehouse. Hundreds of cubic meters of space. Might as well stock up. You never know when you'll need a clean bowl of rice in the apocalypse. Jianwei watches, puzzled. Lord, why are you collecting so many things? Of course it's for eating. You don't want to keep eating biscuits and instant noodles forever a lie. He nods quite seriously. The biscuits and those instant noodles are actually quite tasty. A black line appears on my forehead. I shake my head speechlessly and walk toward the food-serving window. They used to sell rice there, so there should be raw rice inside. Rice lasts forever if kept dry. Smart move. I reach the serving window. Before I can even enter through the side door, a slender figure bursts out. Accompanying this figure is a fire axe radiating cold light, slashing ruthlessly down at my head. The opponent's strength is not weaker than mine. That's my first thought. At level 4, I should be able to handle most threats, but this person caught me off guard and the killing intent in that axe swing is real. Lord, watch out! Jianwei's angry roar. The axe comes down. Even at level 4, the killing intent is real. This person is not weaker than me. That's my first thought. But having learned the basic saber technique, I'm not panicked. My body steps back instantly, and I hold the broadsword horizontal. Clang! The axe bounces off my blade. Dianwei is already there. Turned into an afterimage, halberds raised for a killing blow. If that connects, the opponent gets smashed to pieces. Eli, stop. Don't kill her. He reins it in at the last second. The halberds crash down on either side of the slender figure, gouging 2 deep furrows in the ground. She drops the fire axe and collapses, her whole body going limp. A blood-reeking halberd presses against her neck. Speak. Why did you attack my lord? I step forward. Wait, don't hurt her. I persuade Dianwei to lower his weapon and finally get a good look. Girl about my age, 23 maybe, bright-spirited eyes, high-nose bridge, fair flawless face. Long black hair, tied up, forehead slightly higher than average. Pink tracksuit, white canvas shoes. She exudes capability on top of her beauty. I recognize her immediately. Lin Zihan, president of the fighting club, the recognized campus belle of Tianyin Business College. Her father's rumored to be a leader in a certain military unit in Liang City. She's not just beautiful. Her fighting skills are the real draw. Once, a very sturdy male student challenged her over the club presidency, and she knocked him down in just a few moves. After that, the fighting club was packed with guys signing up. Who wouldn't like a girl who was both beautiful and could fight? As a normal man, I had a very good impression of her. But I understood very well, regardless of status, background, or ability, our worlds would never intersect. I never thought about trying to get to know her. And now we're meeting like this in a cafeteria after the end of the world. Of all the ways to meet the campus belle, this has to be the most absurd. She's sitting on the floor, face pale, legs trembling slightly. I snap out of my thoughts. She must have been terrified by Dianwei's attack just now. Can you stand up on your own? Need a hand. I hold my saber in my right hand and offer my left. Her breathing is rapid, legs visibly shaking. But she hesitates only a moment before saying, "Thank you," and takes it. I pull her to her feet. "Oomph. You'd better behave, or the iron halberd in my hand won't just be striking the ground next time." Dianwei snorts from the side. Lin Zihan flinches, takes a few steps back. She seems to want to make a counterattacking move, but relaxes instead. A wry smile crosses her dust-stained face. "Sorry, I thought there were zombies earlier. This isn't the place to talk. Let's sit over there." I point to 4 clean dining chairs nearby. We sit down. She apologizes properly, introduces herself as 4th-year Chinese literature department. I tell her I'm due yin for marketing. She frowns slightly, doesn't recognize the name. She's clearly running calculations in her head. The way I blocked her fire axe with a saber technique. That's not something an ordinary person can pull off. Without long-term training, those reflexes are impossible. And the burly man beside me? She's seen her father's bodyguard, Uncle Zhou, make a move before. One punch could gouge a chunk out of a tree as thick as a bowl. But compared to Dianwei's halberd strike that gouged deep furrows in solid ground, worlds apart. She probably figures we're from some legendary secretive family. I don't correct her. I ask what happened while I was unconscious. She doesn't hide anything and explains in detail. Only one day passed. She was resting in the dorm with her roommates when a strange voice rang in everyone's minds. Thick fog rose across campus. All phones, computers, electronics dead. She survived in her dorm with her roommates and came to the cafeteria today looking for food. That's all she knows. After learning these details, the slight annoyance I'd been carrying about my lost time finally subsides. I finally feel like I haven't been disconnected from this world for too long. Just one day. But one day is enough for the world to end. So I only miss one day. The slight annoyance I've been carrying about my lost time finally subsides. Sit here for a while. I'll go inside and take a look. I stand up and walk toward the food service window. I keep Lin Zihan behind and head for the kitchen area alone. Not that I don't trust her, I just don't trust anyone with the secret of this system. The serving counters are all connected, so the kitchen areas behind them are too. I sweep through 7 or 8 of them at full speed. Raw rice, raw noodles, frozen meat. Anything that hasn't spoiled goes straight into my storage. Seasonings too. More than 10 minutes later, I walk back out and pick up the fire axe Lin Zihan dropped earlier. Hold on to this well, and don't drop it again. The apartment. No, the cafeteria is quiet. Lin Zihan's questions die on her lips. She flushes red when I hand the fire axe back to her, fingers closing around the handle with a grip that's too tight. Thank you, she says softly, swallowing whatever she wanted to ask. Good. Less talking, more moving. I call General Dianwei, and we head outside the cafeteria. Since I know the apocalypse only started 1 day ago, Lin Zihan confirmed it wasn't longer. My priority is crystal clear. Break through to Hotian level 5, then summon the Wuhuan cavalry and head straight for Nanshan City. That's the plan. Nothing else matters until those cavalrymen are at my back. For some reason, Lin Zihan follows us out. She doesn't explain why, and I don't ask. The basketball court is right there, the soccer field diagonal across, and the path to the girls' dormitory behind us on the left. General Dianwei and I keep our faces calm. Lin Zihan does not. She sees the dense piles of zombie corpses on the basketball court and at the supermarket entrance and nearly loses it. No wonder she heard shrill roars earlier while hiding in the cafeteria. It wasn't zombies biting people. It was people killing them. Did you do all of this? I don't answer. Instead, I ask, where are you going next? She figures it out. Of course she does. Besides shock, there's curiosity in those bright eyes of hers. Curiosity about what I've been through to kill that many zombies. She takes a deep breath, calms herself, and says, I still have 3 roommates waiting for me in the dormitory. I need to go back and find them. Why don't you? Why don't you all come with me? She points to the path on the left. Her dormitory is behind it, she says, and there aren't many zombies over there. We can wait for her father to send a rescue team. I already know her father is a brigade commander of an infantry brigade stationed in Liang City. If anything could stabilize after the initial chaos, it would be a brigade-level military camp. Lin Zihan's father wouldn't ignore his own daughter. Acting with her won't hinder my plan of hunting zombies, so I nod. All right, acting together is fine too. Besides, if a rescue team really shows up, I can ask about the situation outside the school. Let's go quickly. I don't know how Xiaoyan and the other 2 are doing after so much time has passed. The 18 dormitory buildings at Tianyin Business College. The last 2 are rented out with better decor, meant for students whose families could afford the upgrade. Lin Zihan's place is room 208 on the 2nd floor of dormitory building 17, right behind the cafeteria. The path leading there is lined with overgrown hedges and overturned benches. On the way, more than a dozen zombies at Hotian level 1 and level 2 are wandering the road, drawn by some instinct we can't see. They're nothing to us. General Dianwei drops a single halberd swing, and half of them are paced before they even register he moved. But Lin Zihan, I watch her take down a Hotian level 2 zombie in a few rounds, and I'm actually surprised. I scan her with the system. Hotian level 3 already. I killed over 1,000 zombies, and I'm still hovering at Hotian level 4. Makes me wonder if my talent is trash. No time to dwell on it. No mutated beasts show up, and we reach dormitory building 17 fast enough. The 8-story building is wrapped in mutated ivy that nearly covers the whole exterior, thick tendrils creeping over windows and doors. It looks like an ancient structure from a bygone era, something that's been here for centuries instead of decades. But what catches my eye isn't the building. It's the 6 young men in full camouflage standing guard at the entrance. Stern faces, slightly tattered clothes, blood-stained daggers, and long knives in their hands. Soldiers. The rescue team. They stand rigid and alert, scanning every direction with the kind of vigilance you only get from actual combat experience. Before I even open my mouth, Lin Zihan is beaming. These people are all wearing the combat uniforms from my father's unit. They must have been sent by my father to save us. One of the soldiers spots her and practically sprints into the building. It's the brigadier general's daughter. The rest rush over, relief washing over their faces. Lin Zihan introduces herself, asks about her father, and a soldier snaps to attention. Report. We are the spearhead company of the 3rd Battalion, 1st Regiment, Liang City Infantry Brigade, here to rescue the young lady and the students of the school. The Brigadier General is perfectly fine. Please rest assured, young lady. Hearing her father is safe, Lin Zihan's composure cracks. The mask of cold capability she's worn since I first saw her shatters completely. Tears slide down her face, quiet and unstoppable. Her father raised her alone after her mother died when she was a child. He's her spiritual pillar, the one person in this ruined world she needs to know is alive. There was a moment in there, she later admits, where she thought if her father was gone too, she wouldn't know how to keep living. She mutters, "Thank goodness Dad is okay." And then the tension she's been holding for 2 days finally snaps. Dizziness hits her, and she starts to fall. I catch her. "Are you okay?" She recovers, realizes she's leaning against me, goes bright red, and steps back. "Thank you, Duyin, I'm fine now." That's all I say. That's good. Soon enough, the soldier who ran inside comes back out with a middle-aged man and 3 girls. Zihan! Zihan! Her roommates rush forward. The middle-aged man is Zhou Ying, about 35, her father's personal bodyguard. He's been by her father's side since she was a kid. He checks Lin Zihan for injuries and breathes a sigh of relief. Good. Since you're all right, Uncle Zhou can finally rest easy. She asks how many people he brought, whether her father came. Zhou Ying explains, the apocalypse came too suddenly, technology is paralyzed, and the military camp isn't peaceful either. The Brigadier General has to stay and command. They brought 2 companies of men, here to rescue her and search for other survivors. He says it lightly, but his blood-stained clothes and the exhaustion on every soldier's face tell a different story. No vehicles worked. They walked the entire way. I step forward. I would like to ask, what is the situation in the city now? Are there many zombies? Zhou Ying's gaze lands on me, and his pupils shrink. He notices the shield guard broadsword in my hand, a serious weapon, not something a student would carry, and immediately steps in front of Lin Zihan, putting himself between us. Then he looks at General Dianwei beside me, and I can practically see it happen. The man feels like he's staring into a mountain of corpses and a sea of bones. His muscles tense up. His hand drifts toward his dagger before he catches himself. He's at Hotian's 7th layer, but his instincts are screaming at him that the big man beside me could end him before he drew his blade. General Dianwei, being General Dianwei, curls his lip and says with absolute contempt, "Only the strength of Hotian's 7th layer. I disdain to kill you." I stare at him. He really just said that, out loud, to someone's face. I'm caught between laughing and crying. That's the truth, sure, but you can't just say it like that. It wrecks someone's self-esteem. Before I can smooth things over, a sneering voice cuts in from the left. Where did this bumpkin come from? What a big mouth. A group of over 30 soldiers, led by a young man with short hair and a tang sword at his waist. The one who spoke walks right up to us. He heads straight for Lin Zihan with his arms open. "Zihan, I've finally found you. If I hadn't found you, I was ready to lead my men to kill all the zombies in this school." Lin Zihan dodges him like he's toxic. "Hua Hai Tao, if you touch me again, don't blame me for being impolite to you." Rejected in front of everyone, Hua Hai Tao's face flashes with embarrassment. Then it goes cold. He turns on me and General Dianwei. "Only Hotian's 7th layer? I really don't know where you get the courage to talk to my Uncle Zhou like that. Do you think this is still the world before the apocalypse?" He thinks we're students the rescue team picked up. He thinks he can talk down to us because he's the eldest son of the brigade chief of staff. And he's taking the frustration of getting rejected by Lin Zihan out on me. Something shifts inside me. All that killing intent I accumulated from slaughtering zombies pushes its way out. I look at Hua Hai Tao's arrogant face and laugh. Alai is right. For him, Hotian's 7th layer is indeed nothing special. Also, things are different now compared to before the apocalypse. If you want to see my courage, I can certainly satisfy you. Behind him, Zhou Ying's face goes rigid. He dares to swear that from the start of the apocalypse until now, the number of people who could reach his Hotian's 7th layer strength can be counted on 2 hands. This kid is either brave or stupid. Lin Zihan catches his eye, and shakes her head. Zhou Ying suppresses his anger and watches, while Haitao doesn't hold back. Very good. Really very good. Since that's the case, I'll teach you how to behave today. He eyes my shield guard broadsword. Right, this blade in your hand and the weapon in the hand of that guy beside you are not bad. I think you should leave them behind. He charges without even drawing his Tang sword. Postnatal stage 2 strength. He thinks dealing with 2 rescued students is a piece of cake. He rushes at me, and I don't move. A flick of my wrist, the flat of my blade swings across his face. Slap! Blood sprays from his mouth, teeth fly everywhere, and he hits the ground so hard I think I hear something crack. Then the screaming starts. It happens so fast nobody reacts in time. They just see Hua Haitao vomiting blood on the ground. What are you doing? Quick, surround him. 20 or 30 soldiers draw their blades and close in around us. General Dian Wei steps forward, fills his chest with air, and roars, "Get lost!" The sound hits like a physical wall. 20 or 30 soldiers are knocked flat, blood streaming from their ears. They writhe on the ground, hands clamped over their heads. Lin Zihan, the other girls, and the 6 soldiers at the dorm entrance are far enough away to escape the worst of it, but their faces go white. Zhou Ying stares at General Dianwei in horror. He finally understands. His Hotian 7th layer really is nothing special. Just one roar and his soldiers are down. If it came to a real fight, where did these experts come from? I step forward and plant my foot on Hua Haitao's chest. Now, do you still want the blade in my hand? Blood-covered, missing teeth, he starts crying. I don't want it anymore. Please, let me go. Lin Zihan walks over. Du Yin, let him go this time. This is good for both you and him. She means it practically. Hua Haitao's father is second in command in the military. Kill his son, and we'd be hunted. But I'm not afraid of that. Not with the tiger and leopard cavalry system. What I do think about is the 30 soldiers on the ground. If Hua Haitao dies, his men don't leave alive either. And that affects the rescue operation. I lift my foot. I can spare you this time, but you had better not provoke me again. I wouldn't dare. Absolutely wouldn't dare. Alai, let's go. I have no mood to stay. I don't even bother asking Zhou Ying about the city. General Dianwei and I turn and leave. Behind us, the remaining soldiers help Hua Haitao downstairs to treat his injuries. Lin Zihan stands watching us leave, lost in thought. Zhou Ying walks up beside her and pats her shoulder. Stop looking. They have already left. With his personality, if he were with you, it would bring trouble sooner or later. She smiles bitterly and shakes her head. Uncle Zhou, you have misunderstood me. I have no intention of liking him. It's just a pity that people with such powerful strength like him and his friend cannot be used by us. If we had their help, we would be very relaxed. She recounts what happened in the cafeteria earlier. The internal energy projection that cut through zombies in waves. The 2 of them killing over 1,000 zombies while she watched from the serving window. Zhou Ying sucks air through his teeth. His face goes from shock to stunned. Internal energy projection? Killed over 1,000 zombies alone? Could this strength be Hotian 9th layer? Or have they already broken through to the Xiantian realm? He shakes his head with a bitter smile. I thought I saw through their strength this morning, but I was wrong. Completely wrong. After calming down, he sighs. If I had known about this earlier, I would have definitely tried to persuade them kindly. When I meet them, I will apologize in person. Lin Zihan nods silently, but her eyes follow the direction we left in for a few moments longer before she finally turns away. Meanwhile, I've already moved on. General Dianwei and I head straight to the nearest building, Dormitory Building 16, and start sweeping it floor by floor. The apocalypse only started yesterday, so most of the zombies are still weak, Hotian level 1 to level 2 at most. But there are survivors hiding in some rooms too. Every time I find a group of scared female students, I tell them to head to Dormitory Building 17, where the soldiers are. Then it's Building 15, then 14. We clear every dormitory in the school over 2 hours, floor by floor, room by room. I run into Zhou Ying's rescue team multiple times along the way. Hua Haitao, mouth full of missing teeth, takes one look at me and hides behind soldiers like a mouse seeing a cat, his whole body trembling. Zhouing tries to come chat with a smile, but I'm in a terrible mood. His soldiers already cleared out most of the zombies ahead of me in every building. I end up killing less than 1,000 total, and at 1 experience point each, that's only 1,000 points. I check my status. I'm still nearly 100 points short of Hotian level 5. I remind Lindsay Han not to take the road near dormitory building 6. I have my reasons, but I don't explain them, then head straight for the small soccer field on the east side of the school with General Dian Wei. Without caring whether she listens or not, I just leave. Stray cats and dogs usually gather there. They should have enough to close the gap. Thwack! A woo! Cold steel flashes under blinding sunlight. The sound of a blade piercing flesh mixes with a shrill scream, then cuts off. The soccer field is over 300 square meters of ankle-high grass, bloated with apocalypse-fueled vitality. Corpses of zombies and mutated cats and dogs pile up around us. Black blood pools on the ground, and the grass drinks it in, turning black-red, tendrils reaching into the corpses to suck them dry. I don't care about any of that. The last mutated dog drops, and the system speaks. Ding! Killed 1 Hotian level 3 strength mutated dog, gained 30 experience points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Current experience points have reached the upgrade standard, automatically breaking through to Hotian level 5. The host's personal profile panel has been updated. Ding detected that there are sealed units in the host barracks, and the host's current strength meets the unlocking conditions. Does the host choose to unlock immediately? Hotian level 5. Internal energy floods through my organs, making my body stronger with every pulse. But I barely feel it. That last line is all I hear. Unlock immediately. Ding! Conditions for unlocking the Tier 5 special unit, Wuhuan Cavalry, have been met. Unlocking successful. My consciousness gets yanked into a space I've never seen. Endless encampments stretch out below me, row upon row of tents, training grounds, weapon racks, all fading into the horizon. The ground vibrates. Then a booming voice echoes through the space like thunder. All soldiers, assemble. The ground shakes for real this time. Soldiers in Yuzhou caps, Wuhuan robes, and short upturned boots materialize row after row, a sea of armor and horseflesh spreading across the plain. Between their legs, cyan-furred steeds equipped with Wuhuan cavalry saddles stamp and snort. 5,000 of them. 5,000 cavalrymen, all uniformly at Hotian's 7th layer, forming up in perfect formation as if they've drilled together for decades. My blood is boiling. I can't wait to summon every single one. Then the voice returns, draw bows and knock arrows. Triple shot with fire arrows. 5,000 longbows come out in perfect unison. The creak of bowwood, a single sound across the entire formation. Flames ignite on the arrowheads as if by magic. Fire. 3 consecutive volleys of bowstrings snap and the sky goes dark with arrows. A blanket of fire streaking across the heavens. Beautiful as sunset clouds and terrifying enough to make your skin crawl. The flames roar through the air and strike the practice targets below, erupting into columns of fire. My consciousness snaps back to the soccer field. My eyes still glow, faintly red from the vision. This is what I've been waiting for since I woke up. Even my own strength boost doesn't compare to having the Wuhuan cavalry unlocked. General Dian Wei notices my expression shifting, excited, shocked, exhilarated. My lord, are you all right? Don't worry, I'm fine. I just thought of something. I pull my profile. Ost Duyun. Current strength. Hotian level 5, 170/7000 EXP. Cultivation technique. Basic saber technique. Yellow tier low grade. Subgeneral. General Dian Wei. Units. Tier 8 Xiandang Death Squad sealed. Tier 5 Wuhuan Cavalry unlocked. Soldier experience. 3,100 EXP, low tier. Items, Shield Guard Broadsword, yellow tier high grade. Strong Bandage X10, yellow tier mid grade. Level 5, but the next breakthrough needs 7,000 points. A long road ahead. Still, the Wuhuan Cavalry is unlocked, and that gray name is blazing bright now. If a Tier 5 unit is this powerful, what must Tier 8 be like? I checked the barracks tab. One of the 8 barracks now has the Wuhuan cavalry in it. The system asks if I want to summon them all. But wait, I can summon them individually? I try summoning just one. A space fluctuation rips open beside me. General Dianwei goes on alert, but I stop him. A Wuhuan cavalryman in full armor, riding a cyan horse, drops into reality. Hodion's 7th layer strength pours off him. The soldier immediately dismounts, drops to one knee, and looks up at me with burning reverence. This subordinate pays respects to the Lord. Thank God, he's not a soulless puppet. Very good, what is your name? Please bestow a name upon me, my lord. Since you're the first one I summoned, you shall take my surname. From now on, you will be called Du Miao. Additionally, you will command these soldiers from now on. I wave my hand. Space rips open across the soccer field, and cavalrymen appear one after another. A full 100 riders, armor gleaming. I notice something. The intelligence in their eyes isn't quite as vivid as Du Miao's. Something's missing, but I push the thought aside. Du Miao es faz gus crimson. Thank you, my lord, for bestowing the name. Du Miao will definitely protect my lord with his life. I look at General Dianwei. A cold glint in my eyes. Alai, do you remember that mutant weeping willow we encountered this morning? Haha, now it is time for us to take our revenge. His halberds carve a sonic boom through the air. Killing intent radiates from his eyes. This time, I will definitely sever its tree roots. Since that's the case, let's solve the mutant weeping willow before dark. We march out. 101 armored Wuhuan cavalry. Horses pounding the ground, their combined aura sending every zombie and mutated beast within range scattering in panic. I share a horse with Du Miao since we don't have enough mounts. General Dianwei walks beside us. His walking speed matches the cavalry at full gallop. Along the way, anything within range of the cavalry gets put down by sharp arrows. Zombies, mutated beasts, nearly 1,000 die in a short stretch. Military operation means 500 personal experience and 500 soldier experience for me. Closer to unlocking a Tier 1 unit. I ask the system quietly, can the Wuhuan cavalry be resurrected after being killed? Ding, if unlocked units suffer battle losses, they can be replenished through Yuan stones. The higher the unit level, the more Yuan stones consumed. What are Yuan stones? Stones formed by condensed heaven and earth Yuan Qi, rich in energy, usable to increase strength. Other functions I'll have to discover myself. Fine, as long as they can be resurrected, that's what matters. I'll keep an eye out for Yuan stones on the road. My lord, we have arrived. General Dianwei's voice snaps me back. There it is. The mutant weeping willow, over 10 meters tall, rooted in the middle of the road. It's stretching its branches, sucking in Yuan Qi from the air. Around its roots, a carpet of withered corpses, zombies, mutated beasts, all sucked dry. It notices us. Branches start whipping the ground like a provocation. Damn beast, it enrages me. General Dianwei surges forward. I stop him. My backside is numb from riding, so I dismount and walk to his side. Alai, don't be anxious. It's just a toothless beast. Let the Wuhuan cavalry entertain it first. Du Miao, order all soldiers to spread out into a semi-encirclement formation. Prepare for long-range attacks and wait for my command. Yes, my lord. In a dozen breaths, the 100 cavalry spread into 5 horizontal lines, longbows drawn, forming a semi-arc around the tree. Their combined Hotion's 7th layer aura makes the air itself feel thick. The mutant weeping willow thrashes its roots faster and faster. It's powerful, but it can't move. That's all it comes down to. I raise my voice. Activate flaming arrow trait. Activate triple shot. Fire. Du Miao roars the order. 300 flaming arrows streak across the sky and bury themselves in the mutant weeping willow's body. Boom! The tree erupts in fire. It screams, a horrible, keening sound that makes your teeth ache. The arrowheads punch deep into its trunk. The flames roar hotter, and its tender green leaves curl and blacken in seconds. It tries whipping its roots and branches at the fire, but that only makes it worse. Every movement feeds oxygen to the flames. Then it pulls out its trump card. Water. Fire overcomes wood. Water overcomes fire. The weeping willow understands the 5 elements on instinct. It sprays stored water from its trunk, while drawing more from underground through its roots. It's literally raining on itself, extinguishing the flames in a hissing cloud of steam. I'm surprised for about 2 seconds. The fire arrow and triple shot combo could be used 10 times per day. I don't have essence stones to recharge them, but 5 uses should be more than enough to drain this thing's water supply dry. Continue firing. Triple shot with fire arrows. Another curtain of flame. 300 arrows this time, each one trailing fire. Fire and water collide. Steam erupts, and the sky goes misty. I order a 3rd round immediately, then a 4th. The weeping willow's water supply finally runs out. The underground roots can't pump fast enough to keep up with the sheer volume of flame. Even its main trunk catches fire, bark splitting and peeling away in burning strips. I have them fire a 4th wave, then stop. The mutant weeping willow vanishes behind a wall of flame 10 meters high. Branches explode. Roots whip the ground uselessly. Its wails echo across the campus. The commotion pulls every mutated beast and survivor within range. But the beasts know better than to approach a firestorm. Down below Dormitory Building 17, Zhou Ying's 3 companies have gathered. Less than 100 soldiers remain, plus over 1,000 rescued students. They see the flames shooting into the sky and feel the oppressive aura from this distance. Zhou Ying sends a scout named Little Jia to investigate, but Lin Zihan stops him. She remembers what I told her. The direction I said not to go is exactly where the fire is. And those wailing sounds weren't human. Zhou Ying goes himself instead. He gets within 30 meters and freezes. He sees the mutant weeping willow burning alive, and he sees 100 mounted soldiers in ancient armor surrounding it, each one radiating Hotion 7th layer aura. He nearly collapses. These are all Hotion 7th layer warriors, 100 of them. In less than 2 days since the apocalypse started, he's never seen anything close to this concentration of power. What scares him most is seeing me among them, the student he met this morning, clearly commanding these forces from horseback. He hides behind a pillar, nose clamped shut, terrified of making a sound. These soldiers dress like ancient grassland warriors, and their iron-blooded aura makes his brigade's special forces look like recruits. No, they're likely even more terrifying than the special forces. He can only think of one explanation. Du Yin must be from one of those legendary hidden families, and these soldiers are trained by his family's private forces. It's absurd, but what other explanation could there be? He watches for a while longer, then dares not stay. He holds his breath and retreats step by step, only exhaling when he's completely behind a building. His heart is hammering. He doesn't stay long. He retreats quietly and runs back to the others. When he returns, his face is ashen. He takes a moment to steady himself, then issues an order to all the soldiers gathered at Dormitory Building 17. I don't care what unpleasant things happened before, but from now on, no one is to provoke Du Yun again. If anyone dares to disobey, they will be dealt with by military law. The soldiers don't question it. They saw the flames. They felt the oppressive aura from this distance. A soldier's duty is to obey. Yes, sir. As for Hua Haitao, he still remembers the flat of that blade across his face, teeth flying, blood spraying. He keeps his head down and doesn't say a word. But whether he's actually given up revenge or just biding his time, only he knows. Back at the mutant weeping willow, Du Miao notices the figure cautiously leaving in the distance. He asks if we should chase after and eliminate the spy. I glance at Zhou Ying's retreating back and almost smile. They are not the enemy for now. Don't worry about him. With 100 Wuhan cavalry, I'm not afraid of the whole Liang City Brigade showing up. And there hasn't been an irreparable conflict yet. Besides, the cavalry will be seen by others sooner or later. No point hiding them. And even if I told people these soldiers were summoned by a system, nobody would believe it anyway. The weeping willow's howls grow weaker. The flames die down. What's left is a 5 or 6 meter withered husk, branches burned to charcoal, roots charred beyond recognition. It lets out begging sounds at this critical moment. I'm curious where a tree without a mouth makes those sounds, but I'm not accepting its surrender. A lie. Go up and test it. Injure it severely, so it loses the ability to resist. Leave the final blow to me. General Dian Wei charges in, eager for revenge. The weeping willow, already at its last breath after 4 rounds of fire arrows, can't put up any real fight. But it still resists. Its remaining branches thrash wildly. Roots burst from the ground, trying to grab General Dian Wei's legs. He's a Xiantian peak warrior now, though. He shatters the roots with a stomp of his foot, and his halberds carve through the weakened branches like paper. He beats it savagely, venting the frustration of this morning's humiliation. I step in and deliver the final blow, severing its body with my shield guard broadsword. One final, pitiful roar, and the massive trunk crashes to the ground, cracking the earth for 10 meters in every direction. Waves of vital energy pour from the wood, visible as a faint shimmer in the air. Finally dead. Once, General Dian Wei, and I had to dodge in a sorry state from this thing and take a detour. Now it fell to 100 cavalry without any power to resist. This is the terror of an army. I'm waiting for the system voice when General Dian Wei shouts, "My lord, this is a mutant plant of the Xiantian late stage. Quickly, take out its life tree core and demon core before the vital energy dissipates." Life tree core? Demon core? He's already dug into the trunk by the time I process the words. He pulls out a piece of wood and a turbid round bead. The wood is the life tree core, formed only by plant-type demon creatures, full of life force. Can treat injuries and improve physical potential after processing. The bead is the demon core, condensed when the weeping willow broke into the Xiantian realm. Can replace vital stones in some applications and improve weapon quality. I take both, but when I go for the demon core, General Dian Wei pulls back. His hand closes over it protectively. He looks conflicted, his dark face going even darker as he wrestles with himself. Finally, embarrassment wins out over dignity. That, my lord, this demon core is a bit useful to me. Can you leave it for me to use? I almost laugh. Hunting the mutant weeping willow was originally your credit, a lie. Since it's useful to you, of course I'll leave it for you. After all, your lord is still counting on your protection. He promises on his life, then immediately wraps the demon core in his true chi, cradling it like something precious, and presses it against his twin iron halberds. The demon core sinks into the metal. The halberds glow briefly, and I watch the weapons absorb it. I'm about to ask what he's doing when the system finally speaks, drowning out every other thought in my head. Ding! Congratulations to the host for killing 1 mutant weeping willow of the Xiantian late stage, gaining 5,000 personal experience points. Ding! Detected that the host has killed a demon creature of the Xiantian realm for the first time. The host gains an additional 3,000 personal experience points, and is also rewarded with 2 random item draw chances and 1 random deputy general draw chance. Ding! Congratulations to the host for winning a small to medium-sized battle with excellent performance, gaining 2,000 personal experience points and 2,000 soldier experience points, and gaining 1 random item draw chance. My personal experience points, 10,670 out of 7,000 needed, way over the threshold, but I hold off on breaking through to Hotion's 6th layer. The post-breakthrough window of peak physical condition is short, and this saved reserve might be the difference between life and death later. The sun's going down. My stomach's been protesting since noon. I was planning to hit the artificial lake by the computer classroom building, catch some mutant fish, roast them up, then do my item and general draws. But before I can move, General Dian Wei erupts with surging momentum. His halberds glow fierce. A breakthrough? I don't interrupt. 10 minutes pass. Cracking sounds come from his body. The momentum retracts, and his halberds dim. But there's a hint of gold in the silver white now. Ha ha ha. If I encounter a demon creature like that mutant weeping willow again, I will surely kill it within 30 rounds. I check his profile through the system. General Dienwei. Strength, Xiantian peak. His twin iron halberds upgraded to yellow tier top grade. And a new line, talent. Evil soul dominates. Summons an evil soul to possess the body. Parts become intangible to block fatal damage. Strength increases by 30%. The longer it lasts, the longer the weakness afterward. The system tells me all summoned generals have their own talents. Minimum requirement to awaken them, Xiantian peak. General Dienwei awakened at one of the best cases. Some might not awaken even after breaking through to the Grandmaster realm. That makes me wonder what kind of talents Huang Zhong will have once he pushes past the limit. Something to look forward to. I grin at him. A lie. There's no need to rush. In such a large city, there must be many powerful monsters like the mutant Weeping Willow. When we really encounter those monsters, don't go shouting and running away. I'm already thinking ahead. Lion City has a large zoo right in the center. 7 or 8 types of large beasts. Lions, tigers, elephants, all of them mutated by now. On our way out of the city, I plan to visit and turn every single one into experience points. But my lord, before we go killing monsters, can you let me have my fill first? My stomach is empty again. His stomach punctuates the point with a series of rumbles so loud, Du Miao's horse startles. I can't help it, I laugh. I try to hold it in, but the look on his rugged, battle-scarred face, embarrassed about being hungry in front of his new companion, is too much. Let's go. There's an artificial lake up ahead. If there are fish in it, we'll have grilled fish and fish soup for dinner tonight. I collect the remaining Weeping Willow trunk into storage, form up the cavalry, and we head back. The sky goes completely dark. Moonlight takes over, casting long silver shadows across the ruined campus. Strange roars echo from the quiet corners of the school, only to fall silent immediately. High above, a giant shadow flashes by, some flying creature, vanishing into the distance in an instant. But night has settled over the school in earnest. Both zombies and mutated beasts have stopped their activities for now. We reach the small plaza in front of the computer classroom building, facing the artificial lake. I post a dozen riders as perimeter guard, throw the Weeping Willow trunk on the ground, and order the cavalry to chop it into pieces for a campfire. Du Miao and I head to the lake while General Dienwei squats nearby, already drooling at the thought of food. The lake's surface glimmers in the moonlight. No zombies, no human corpses, just pre-apocalypse trash floating near the edges. Good enough. Shoot an arrow in and test it. Du Miao fires into the lake. Splash. Thwack. A meter-long mutated crucian carp floats up belly first, mouth full of needle-sharp fangs. Ding! Killed one mutated crucian carp with Hotion level 3 strength. Gained 5 experience points. Experience points from fish 2? Now that's a surprise. The lake erupts. That single drop of blood is all it takes. Every fish in the water swarms the corpse, tearing at it with toothy mouths, the whole surface boiling white. Then they start launching themselves at the shore. Mutated carp with jaws that could snap a finger clean off, their scales glinting silver in the moonlight. General Dienwei steps forward and smashes every one that jumps past the waterline. His halberds turn into a blur. No fish gets within 10 meters of us. I call over 20 dismounted cavalry, line them up at the water's edge, and have them fire volley after volley into the churning lake. System notifications ring nonstop. Every arrow that finds a fish lights up my experience counter. We work through them methodically until the surface is coated in a thick layer of blood and fish corpses. Not a single living fish shows its face anymore. 1,200 personal experience, 500 soldier experience, and dinner for 100 men. The fire's lit, the pots are set up on the Weeping Willow trunk logs. Seasonings and vegetables come out of storage, salt, pepper, wild onions I scavenged, and enough fresh vegetables to make this an actual meal. Du Miao's men handle the fish like professionals, scaling and gutting them with their long swords before dropping them into the boiling pots. Half an hour in, the aroma is unbelievable. rich, savory, steam rising into the night air. I look at General Dien Wei drooling over the pot and think, might as well use this time to summon a general. System, I want to summon a general. 2 minutes of silence. Then, ding, random general summoning complete. The general is materializing. This time the system didn't announce the name directly. I check the general panel, and a grin spreads across my face. The Wuhuan cavalry cooking fish instantly go on alert. Every longbow aimed at a middle-aged man who just appeared. General Dien Wei feels an aura almost as strong as his own, Xiantian late stage, and steps in the way. Who are you? What are you doing here? The middle-aged man scans the area, spots me, and his eyes light up. He drops to one knee. Han Sheng pays respects to the Lord. I check the panel. Deputy General, Huang Zhong. Courtesy name, Han Sheng. Strength, Xiantian late stage. Cultivation technique, Crimson Moon 9 Cloud Arrow and Emerald Blood Cloud Slicing Saber technique. Earth grade mid-tier. Weapon, Crimson Blood Saber, Treasure Carved Bow, Rending Cloud Arrow. Loyalty, 100. Huang Zhong, one of the 5 tiger generals of the 3 kingdoms. A man who could fight Lu Bu to a standstill in his old age. And on top of close combat, he's a master archer, deadly at range with his rending cloud arrows. First I pulled General Dien Wei. Now this. 2 Xiantian stage generals at my back. What's left to fear? I rush over and pull him up from one knee. Han Sheng, get up quickly. You don't need to be so polite with me. Huang Zhong's tense expression eases. Thank you, Lord, he replies, still cupping his hands. He's in his 30s, not old at all. The system's version keeps these generals young and in their prime. Same with General Dien Wei, who also looks 20-something despite being one of history's fiercest warriors. Good. I couldn't have summoned a bunch of uncles. Because of the system's memory alterations, the 2 great generals don't know each other. I have to introduce them. Dien Wei. Meet Huang Zhong. Huang Zhong, this is Dien Wei. Within minutes, both martial arts fanatics are comparing weapons and exchanging notes on combat technique, bonding over their shared love of war. Huang Zhong's background is also somewhat blurred. No Nanshan City origin story like General Dien Wei got. A small disappointment, but I figure it's the system giving me invisible help. Without it, I'd never find one of those legendary Heavenly Fallen cities on my own. Just then, the fish soup in a dozen large pots set on the weeping willow trunk fire is finally ready. The broth is rich and white, chunks of mutated fish meat floating in it with wild herbs and seasonings. I watched the 2 martial arts fanatics, General Dien Wei and Huang Zhong, huddled together, comparing calluses on their weapon hands and arguing about the superiority of halberds versus sabers, and I can't help but laugh. The fish soup is ready. Are you 2 still going to eat? If you don't eat, there won't be any portions for you. Huh? It's ready? Han Sheng, let's go over quickly. I'm starving to death. General Dien Wei drops everything and drags the wryly smiling Huang Zhong straight to the pot he'd been eyeing all evening. I hand out bowls and chopsticks from storage. 100 men sit cross-legged around the campfire, drinking fish soup under the moonlight. The wind carries the rich aroma across the plaza. It's fragrant and warming. For a moment, just a moment, this feels almost normal. Then, clatter of rolling stones from the darkness beyond the western dormitory. Huang Zhong drops his bowl, grabs his bow. Who is it? Come out. But the patrolling cavalry already chased out 2 figures. Do you and don't attack, it's us. Lin Zihan, changed into clean camouflage, face pale. Zhou Ying beside her, looking even more stressed. He's not just facing armed cavalry. He's staring at Huang Zhong, who wasn't there this morning. Another terrifying existence at my side. When did this happen? I have Huang Zhong lower his bow. The 2 Wuhuan cavalry escort them over. Their stomachs growl the moment they smell the fish soup. Zhou Ying keeps his composure. Lin Zihan goes beet red in front of 100 soldiers. I try not to laugh. You 2 haven't eaten yet, right? Have a bowl of fish soup first. They try to decline. One taste and they can't stop. Bowl after bowl. After the meal, I get serious. Speak. What is the matter that you came to find me so late? Zhou Ying cuts to it. I know your strength is very strong, far stronger than ours. I want to make a trade with you. A trade? Interesting. I know you're from Lin Zihan's father's military unit, but I can't think of anything you have that I need. If technology still worked, the military would be the best trading partner on Earth. Trucks, weapons, tanks, just pull one out and gather some survivors, and you'd have a force to be reckoned with. But none of that matters now. All that military hardware is scrap metal. Zhou Ying's bitter smile confirms the problem. He hesitates, then pushes forward. Military tents, cold weapons, various medicines. If you can escort us back to the base tomorrow, all of that can be trade items. Military tents and medicine. Those actually catch my attention. I'm heading north with a long road ahead. Tents mean proper rest at night, instead of sleeping on cold ground. And medicine is already scarce, and will only get scarcer as the apocalypse drags on. But I keep my face neutral. Can't let them know I'm interested. Not bad, but not enough for me to agree. Lin Zihan starts to argue. She's got fire, I'll give her that. Zhou Ying stops her and grits his teeth. This is clearly costing him pride to ask. Our military unit has taken in scientists and ancient weaponry enthusiasts. They've started developing catapults, siege crossbows, scaling ladders. If you can wait, I can convince the brigade commander to provide these once they're made. Siege weapons. Now that tempts me. But the military has the manpower to mass produce them, and other factions are probably already occupying ancient cities right now. I can't wait here. Fine. Set aside the catapults. Besides military tents and medicine, I also need a large amount of gasoline. We'll discuss the quantity when we get there. Zhou Ying blinks, then smiles. Good. I hope we have a pleasant cooperation. We work out tomorrow's departure details. Time, route formation. Zhou Ying seems relieved, like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders. Then he leaves with Lin Zihan. I have Huang Zhong escort them partway back, just to be safe, and spend the rest of the time thinking about what I need to do next. The military developing siege weapons is a sign. It means other factions are doing the same. The military has the manpower and the resources to mass produce them. And it wasn't just me who heard that mysterious voice. Everyone did. Some lucky faction might already be sitting inside an ancient city right now. That thought stings. I'm envious. But Nanshan City is what I'm after, and I can't wait here for catapults to be built. Gasoline will have to do. For defending a city or killing mutated beasts, it's a solid weapon of mass destruction. Anyone who's seen a firestorm devour a Shintian stage monster knows that fire doesn't care about your cultivation level. I also realize I need to summon a technical talent eventually. Someone who can build siege equipment for me. Zhuge Liang would be ideal, but I'll take whoever the system gives me. All of this requires a deputy general summoning opportunity, though, and those don't come cheap. I need to keep fighting, keep killing, keep grinding. Huang Zhong returns. We clean up, post night guards, and sleep. Morning. Sun's already up by 6 or 7. The campus has changed overnight. No white fog today, but the air feels different. Thicker, charged with yuan qi that makes the hairs on my arms stand up. On the plaza, 100 Wuhan cavalry sit mounted and formed up, Hodian 7th layer aura pouring off them in waves. Their armor gleams in the morning light. Xion State stamp impatiently. I'm in the middle on a Yinchi steed, yellow tier high grade, thick-blooded and thick-skinned, with a short-duration charge trait. Huang Zhong rides beside me on his own mount. General Jian Wei stands on the ground, but he's got fish-scale armor on now. Yellow tier high grade, over 20 caddies, best defense against blunt weapons. I drew both items in the second half of the night using my remaining random draw chances. The armor's too heavy for me, and I don't plan on fighting easily, so I gave it to Jian Wei. At least I don't have to share a horse with Du Miao anymore. Hasheng, from now on, you will lead these Wuhan cavalry to guard the surroundings and clear all blocking zombies and mutated beasts on the road. My lord, rest assured, your subordinate will never let a single fish slip through the net. Then a surge of survivors comes pouring from the path behind Dormitory Building 1. Pale, filthy, dark circles under their eyes. They're supposed to be in orderly lines. Zhou Ying and the soldiers are shouting behind them. but nobody's walking. Everyone's scrambling and fighting to run forward, especially when they see my 100 cavalrymen. Run faster. Don't block my way. What are you pushing for? Huangzhong doesn't even wait for me to speak. Soldiers, heed my command. Draw your bows and knock your arrows. If anyone dares to step forward without permission, shoot to kill. 100 longbows go taut. Iron-tipped arrows aimed at the mob. Dense killing intent rolls off the cavalry. The first 100 survivors freeze. But then some idiot, the son of a pre-apocalypse company boss, opens his mouth. We are all students. As soldiers sent by the country, aren't you supposed to protect us? How can you treat us like this? 3 or 4 others chime in. The mob starts surging again. I've been sitting on my horse in silence. Shoot off the limbs of those 4 people in the front. Huangzhong doesn't hesitate. A bunch of unruly people with no strength to trust a chicken dare to make demands. You are truly courting death. 20 cavalrymen release. 4 arrows punch through arms and legs. The impact carries the screaming survivors into the crowd behind them, pinned to the ground. The other 16 arrows stick into the earth, forming a barrier of steel between the mob and us. Shrill screams. Blood. Some female students wet themselves right there. I'll let the silence hang for a moment. Then, those 4 just now are the examples. Whoever dares to walk forward again, it won't be as simple as just shooting off their limbs. Zhou Ying finally pushes his way over. He sees the 4 pinned students and curses inwardly, brainless idiots. He has his soldiers remove the arrows and drag them off for bandaging, then herds everyone back into their assigned groups. He comes to me apologetic. These people were all students before, and they've probably been terrified over the past 2 days. I don't care if they're students or not. On the journey ahead, keep them in check, otherwise my men might not be able to stop themselves from killing them. He nods quickly. Don't worry, but if we encounter zombies later, I'm afraid we'll need your help, Duyan. I agree without thinking. The 1,000 survivors get organized into 10 square formations stretching over 100 meters long. It takes effort. The soldiers have to physically drag people into position, but eventually order emerges from chaos. Zhou Ying and Lin Zihan lead at the front. The 100-plus soldiers, including a very quiet Hua Haitao who won't meet my eyes, are distributed through the ranks to maintain order and deal with emergencies. I spread my 200 Wuhuan cavalry around the perimeter to kill zombies at range and protect the group from all sides. Any zombie that stumbles within range gets an arrow through the skull before it can take 2 steps. We march across the lake bridge, exit the school gate, and head south toward the infantry brigade base in the southern suburbs. The road passes through a market district, restaurants, fruit shops, clothing stores. Pre-apocalypse, it would have been bustling. Now it's a graveyard. Crashed cars and electric scooters piled on top of each other in a massive tangle. Some vehicles malfunctioned when the apocalypse hit and never hit the brakes, plowing head-on into the ones ahead. Crushed corpses lie under the wheels, blood-dried black and flaking on the asphalt. A clothing store's glass front is shattered. Mannequins toppled inside among debris. A fruit stand has rotted into a black mass of mold. The survivors see it all. Some girls think of their parents, their homes, the lives they had 3 days ago. Soft sobbing starts. But nobody dares cry loud, not after the arrows. Any zombies that pop up nearby get shot dead by the Wuhuan cavalry before they can even stagger close. The group stays stable barely. Lin Zihan ended up sharing my horse. She changed into clean camouflage somewhere overnight. As we move, the horse's body rises and falls, and our backs press together. Before long, her neck goes bright red. I'm sitting behind her, close enough to feel the warmth through the fabric, and the faint scent of her shampoo makes my mind wander. Then she whispers, barely audible, her whole face burning, "That, Duyan, could you please move back a little?" I realize what's happening. Go crimson myself. Take a deep breath to calm down, lean back, and grab the reins to distract myself. Uncle Zhou, where are we going next? Zhou Ying either doesn't notice or doesn't care. He points ahead. We follow Tianying Road south for 3 or 4 kilometers, then change direction twice. The road is wide and nearly unobstructed. Perfect cavalerie terrain. I'm about to send the cavalry ahead to scout and clear the road when squeak, squeak, squeak. A giant rat, a full meter long with a hugely fat body, its fur patchy and scarred, bursts out of the market exit to my left. Claws scrabble on the asphalt as it skids to a stop. Postnatal stage 2. Not strong. I can tell a glance. But the weird thing is it barely runs. It glances at the survivors with beady red eyes, then turns around and runs back into the darkness where it came from. A bad feeling hits me. Then the system speaks. Ding! Temporary side quest triggered. Resist the attack of the mutated beast rat tide and ensure half of the survivors survive. Successful completion rewards 1 random item draw opportunity and 1 special item. Failure will deduct 5,000 soldier experience points. Does the host accept the side quest? A rat tide. My eyes snap to the market exit. Sounds like flowing water mixed with thousands of squeaks, a rising cacophony that sets your teeth on edge. The ground trembles under my boots. Red lights flicker in the darkness. Countless eyes reflecting the daylight, bobbing and weaving. A swarm of mutated rats is pouring out, their bodies pressing against each other in a surging mass. I can feel the vibration through the soles of my feet, like an earthquake with a heartbeat. I roar. Uncle Joe, a large number of mutated rats are rushing out from the market. Quickly take these people and leave here. Eli, stay by my side. Courtesy name. You lead the cavalry and attack directly whenever you see any mutated rats. General Dianwei and Huang Zhong move immediately, their expressions hardening as they sense the scale of what's coming. The surrounding Wuhuan cavalry receive the order and wheel their cyan steeds into formation, longbows ready, boots locked into stirrups. Horses snort and stamp, sensing the danger. Zhou Ying pushes the survivors forward, trying to get them clear of the market. His soldiers shout and shove, herding the panicked crowd down the road. Zhou Ying himself is barking orders, pulling stragglers back in a line. But 1,000 people compressed into a column over 10 meters long don't move fast when they're terrified. Children cry. Old people stumble. Someone falls and others trip over them. The column stretches, compresses, and fractures into chaos. Over 100 people are still within striking distance of the market exit. Too slow, too tangled, too late. One giant rat rushes out of the darkness, claws scrabbling on asphalt. Then another. Then 3 more. They pour out like water from a broken dam. A brown-black flood of writhing bodies and razor-sharp teeth, each rat the size of a small dog with bulging red eyes and incisors that gleam wet and sharp. Their fur is matted and coarse, bodies unnaturally fat from gorging on whatever the market stored before the apocalypse. They move with terrifying coordination, not like panicked animals, but like a single organism. The squeaking reaches a pitch that makes your ears ring. In the blink of an eye, the entire road in front of the market exit is consumed by a dense, writhing carpet of mutated rats. Hundreds, no, thousands of them, all converging on the survivors with a hunger that makes the zombie horde look tame. The small plaza in front of the market exit is maybe 100 square meters. Big enough to park a few cars. Not big enough for what's about to happen. Mutated rats pour out of the market one after another, and within seconds the entire plaza is gone under a dense, writhing black flood. They pile up like a mountain, squeaking and squeaking, a foul stench rolling off them in waves. The air gets cold, not from weather, from the sheer wrongness of thousands of bloodthirsty, crimson eyes staring at you at once. I'm mentally prepared for this, but I still gasp, even doubting whether we can hold them off if the whole swarm surges forward. And I used to eat at this market. The thought makes my stomach churn. Damn it. This is near a school. What were the authorities doing letting this many rats breed here? Beside me on the horse, Lin Zihan screams, then drops her head and starts retching to the side. I don't blame her. These things are over a meter long now, the size of leopards. Their exposed teeth grind together, click-clack, like 1,000 tiny knives sharpening. General Dianwei and Huang Zhong don't have a second to waste. Huang Zhong's longbow is already out, arrow knocked, and the Wuhuan cavalry around him snap into formation, activating both major traits in unison. General Dian Wei's arms surge with true qi, the energy flowing down into his twin iron halberds until the blades practically hum. The survivors are too slow. 100 or so people don't make it out in time. They see these giant rats up close and let out screams I'll never forget. "Don't eat me. Come save me. I'll give you all my money." Fools. Screaming only agitates the swarm faster. The black torrent rolls over everything. Wood, debris, anything in the path, gone in an instant. 3 survivors who fall and can't get up are stripped to bone in the blink of an eye. Not even skeletons left. I accept the mission in my mind. No choice anyway. Refusing won't help now. Then I pull Lin Zihan back on the horse and retreat fast, shouting, "Fire arrows!" Huang Zhong fires first. His Xiantian late stage strength explodes into the shot, and the arrow splits mid-flight. 1 becomes 9, blazing like miniature suns cutting through the void. They slam into the rat swarm and erupt. Boom! 200 or 300 rats go flying in shredded pieces. It's terrifying power, but it's not enough. Compared to the mountain of rats, a few hundred dead barely makes a dent. The blood rain from the fallen only makes the swarm more frenzied. Then the Wuhuan cavalry scattered around the perimeter join in, flaming arrows, triple shot, volley after volley. 1 rat after another bursts into flame. The burnt smell gets thicker by the second, sickening and heavy. Still, the rats keep coming. Endless. Screams echo from the survivors who can't escape in time. The ones who fall don't even get to finish screaming. One by one, the 100 or so left behind get devoured, torn apart until nothing remains. Not even bone. And in the chaos, due to the tight quarters, for Wuhuan cavalry get caught and dragged into the swarm by the rats. Their horses go down first, then the riders. Each one of those 5,000 cavalrymen is precious to me. Losing 4 this early, it feels like someone carved a piece of flesh out of my chest. My eyes go red staring at that surging black torrent. The mutated rat swarm. General Dian Wei and Huang Zhong fall back to my side. The cavalry keeps firing while slowly repositioning. The whole thing turns into a sharp cone versus a semi-arc. "My lord, this won't work," Huang Zhong says, firing another arrow. Too many rats. The outer layer blocks most of the arrow damage from reaching the ones behind, and this space is too tight for light cavalry to fight properly. He's right. I scan the surroundings desperately. Then I spot 5 or 6 cars parked on the road, not far away, and my eyes light up. I shout to Zhou Ying, "Officer Zhou, get your soldiers to drain all the gasoline from those cars and pour it on the road." Several rows, less than 2 meters between each. If there's natural gas, get that too. Zhou Ying is pale from the rat swarm, but he catches on fast. A firewall, of course. He pulls a dozen soldiers, and they start ripping fuel tanks from the abandoned cars, pouring gasoline in long strips across the asphalt, layer by layer. 1 layer separated from another, less than 2 meters between each. From above, it'd look like an endless grid pattern. The wind carries the pungent smell everywhere. Zhou Ying watches the other survivors flee far ahead and shouts, "Duyun, the gasoline is all poured. You need to retreat quickly." We pull back. General Dian Wei, Huang Zhong, and the cavalry retreat 700 meters past the gasoline zone. The moment the dense swarm of rats rushes into the gasoline circle, we light it up. Over 100 fire arrows fly in, some shooting into the rats, some around them. Boom! The gasoline ignites instantly. Blue flames shoot sky high under the fire arrows' heat, then spread fast, igniting the other strips. Wave after wave of flames rises and merges together. Within seconds, a radius of over 10 meters becomes a wall of towering flame. City within city, one ring of fire inside another. The pitch-black torrent of rats is trapped in the middle, shrieking in the crackling heat. Inside the flames, the rats try to bunch up and roll out like they did with the survivors, but the interconnected fire walls burn through them fast. Their numbers drop with every second. By the time any rush through the cage of flames, only a few dozen remain, and the Wuhuan cavalry stationed outside pick them off immediately with arrows. This is when light cavalry shows its full advantage. Mobile, precise, merciless. Zhou Ying and the other survivors had already fled far ahead. They stopped more than 10 meters from the firewall and watch. Towering flames reflecting on their faces, turning everything red. Time passes. Half an hour later, the flames die down slowly. Not a single living rat gets out. All that's left inside are charred corpses piled thick. A dense, mountain-like heap of burnt bodies. Everyone stares at the scene and gasps, faces full of shock. Then the crowd erupts. Blocked. We actually blocked them. We survived. Some people collapse sobbing. Mom, where are you? Your son misses you. 1,000 people, and every single one of them is processing the fact that they almost died 20 minutes ago. Lin Zihan turns her head back to me, still sitting behind her on the horse, and says quietly, Du Yun, thank you. I just laugh. Saving them is saving myself. Then I turn to Zhou Ying. The commotion was too loud. We need to move fast. If another swarm this size shows up, I'm out of tricks. And as I say it, I can't help thinking about all the places in the south with rat infestations. If the apocalypse hit those places, thousands of mutant rats would overwhelm everything. The thought makes me shudder uncontrollably. Then the system chimes in. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the temporary side quest. Resist the mutant rat tide. Special reward. 1 random item draw opportunity and 1 special item. The special item has been sent to the system warehouse. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing a small-scale battle, gaining 1,200 personal experience points and 900 soldier experience points. Phew! First side quest done. For cavalrymen lost, but the harvest is solid. Nearly 10,000 rats killed total. Though only 1,000 or 200 were killed directly by arrows, the rest burn alive in the gasoline fire. So personal experience is about 2,200 total, including the battle reward, plus 900 soldier experience. The special item is itching in my curiosity, but Zhou Ying interrupts before I can check. Du Yun, everyone has calmed down. We can set off any time. Fine, I'll check later. We march out again. This time I'm smarter about terrain. I pull most of the cavalry back into the system camp, leaving just 200 to escort the group. With Huang Zhong and General Dian Wei handling everything, every zombie and mutated beast we encounter gets put down without trouble. The 2 Xintian stage generals are overwhelming against anything we face on this road. We're lucky, no more swarm attacks. By noon, after a full morning of marching, we stop in open space outside the gate of Fuazhong Residential Complex, the southernmost development in Liang City. This was the last stop before the troop station. Past here, it's all wilderness. The place is dead. 5 or 6 high rises in front already handed over. 3 or 4 in back still just bare concrete frames with large cranes parked silently beside them. Not a single living soul visible aside from our own 1,000-plus group. I look at the empty buildings and laugh to myself. Even if they drop the price to 1,000 per square meter, nobody's buying now. Funny how quickly unaffordable turns into worthless. The survivors sit on the ground, gnawing dry rations. Zhou Ying wanted to push straight through to the military camp. The dangers on this road were too many, and every extra minute waiting increases the risk. But the 1,000-plus survivors are basically ordinary people. A whole morning of nonstop walking through zombie-infested streets has drained them completely. If we don't rest, they'll collapse. And looking at their expressions going numb, they've already started despairing about this apocalypse. Yesterday's proud college students, today's destitute fugitives. That gap isn't something everyone can handle. Zhou Ying can only sigh. Zhou Ying sighs, staring up at the impossibly clear sky. Is it really heaven's will to destroy us humans? Lin Zihan, finally off the horse, squares her shoulders. Uncle Zhou, didn't that mysterious voice say, if we find the legendary Skyfall City, more people can survive? I hope so. He doesn't sound convinced. Then curiosity crosses his face. By the way, Zihan, you spent the whole morning with Du Yun. Do you know which family he's from? Which family? Lin Zihan shakes her head. He never mentioned one. But she noticed things, the strange cavalry, the way his two companions have the courtesy names of General Dianwei and Huang Zhong from the Three Kingdoms. And those two called him Lord. What kind of modern family still uses that title? She has no idea what mysterious family could train that many powerful cavalrymen and maintain ancient traditions like that. Zhou Ying can only smile bitterly. Perhaps some ancient family that's continued to this day. I even have a feeling they must have anticipated the apocalypse. Otherwise, no matter how powerful a family is, you don't train that many cavalrymen for fun. He pauses, then adds, "It'd be even better if we could keep him in our army." I hear all of this from a distance. Honestly, it's funny being mistaken for some ancient family heir. If the strongest apocalypse Three Kingdoms system didn't exist, where would I have all these strong soldiers and generals? Probably rotting in some corner, waiting to die. But I let the thought go when Huang Zhong rides over. "My lord, I found traces of survivor activity inside this residential area. People are definitely still here, but they're hiding from us." Hiding? That sets off an instinct. If they saw us and ran, that's normal. But hiding means they don't want to be found. I leave General Dianwei and Lin Zihan to guard the horses, take Huang Zhong and 20 cavalrymen, and walk in with Zhou Ying and 4 of his soldiers. The complex only has 5 finished buildings, arranged in 2 neat rows, with the rest of the area being high-rise buildings still under construction. Easy to navigate. Huang Zhong tracks the survivor traces to Building 3, Unit 1. And the moment we get there, everyone covers their nose. The ground below the entrance is a garbage dump. Household waste rotting in the heat, foul stench hitting like a wall. And human excrement, large and small piles, drop directly from the floors above. Even in the apocalypse, can't you people be hygienic? The 2 Yanchi steeds with us are just as disgusted, stomping and snorting. We have to coax them down and retreat several meters before the horses calm. Zhou Ying and his soldiers back off too. I frown. The people are clearly upstairs, but we don't know which floor. Searching floor by floor in this stench would take forever. I suggest calling out. Zhou Ying suggests I call him Uncle Zhou instead of Officer Zhou, too formal. Fair enough. His soldier, Xiao Lian, young, dark-complexioned, steps up, ignores the stench, tilts his head back, and shouts 3 times. "We're soldiers from the 3rd Infantry Brigade, here to rescue you. Please come down." Nothing. Not a peep. Zhou Ying tries next. "You don't need to worry. Everything we said is true. Your accommodation will be arranged at the military unit. Besides, the suburbs aren't safe. Uncle Zhou, watch out above." I spot a dark shadow dropping from the building. My voice tears out before I even think. Zhou Ying's entire body goes rigid with mortal danger. He throws himself left, unleashing Hotion's 7th layer strength, clearing 5 or 6 meters in a single leap. Bang! A basketball-sized ceramic flower pot smashes exactly where he stood. Shards and soil spray everywhere. If he'd been a second slower, that thing would have cracked his skull. Even Hotion's 7th layer probably wouldn't survive that from above. Zhou Ying stares at the shattered pot, breathing hard. His soldiers rush to surround him. The 20 Wuhan cavalry already have their bows drawn, aimed up. I ask Huang Zhong, which floor? He looks up. 26th floor. 26th floor. I sneer. No wonder they didn't bother coming downstairs. Then a voice from above, calm and smug. "Sorry, my hand slipped. Didn't hit anyone, did it? Also, you should leave. We're fine here. Don't need rescuing." The speaker stays completely hidden behind the window. Zhou Ying's face twists with rage. Damn it. They think they can brush this off with a hand slip? Do we look like idiots? I laugh. "Uncle Zhou, just because they told us to leave doesn't mean we have to. Since we came all this way, I'm going up. We leave the cavalry and horses behind. 7 of us, me, Huang Zhong, Zhou Ying, and 4 soldiers climb the stairs. 26 floors for a group of martial artists doesn't take much time at all. Meanwhile, on the 26th floor, in a north-facing room over 300 square meters, 20 or 30 people are gathered. Most were construction worker uniforms. 5 or 6 of them are Hotion Level 1 martialists. And the big man, lounging in a chair, eyes closed, a mother-daughter pair in bikinis massaging his shoulders and feeding him grapes. That's Zhao San. Hotion Level 5. Before the apocalypse, Zhao San was just a migrant worker on construction sites. Couldn't even find a wife because of poverty. But the moment the world ended, a massive mutant boar charged the construction site and gored most of the workers to death. The boar was about to kill Zhao San too when it stumbled into a freshly tied steel rebar cage and got pierced through. The sight of that giant pig impaled and bleeding scared him nearly senseless. Then he realized everything had changed. The boar died, warmth flooded Zhao San's body, and suddenly he could bend rebar like wire and jump like something out of a movie. Hotion Level 5. He figured out the boar was a mutated beast, killed the zombie workers, and saved the survivors. At first his intentions were pure, to survive together. But then the admiration started. The rescued women started. And a thought took root. Are kings and nobles born with high status? If he's the strongest one here, why shouldn't he be the boss? So his style changed completely. The rescued people became his servants. Women became daily necessities at his side. He snaps back to the present, smells the fragrance of the women on either side, and grabs the daughter's cheek with a domineering pinch. "You, serve me in bed tonight." The girl's body trembles visibly. She bites her lip and says nothing. Her mother goes pale, clearly terrified. "Big brother Zhao, didn't you say as long as I agreed to sleep with you, you wouldn't touch my daughter?" Are you questioning me?" Zhao San grabs the woman by the neck, yanks her close, eyes sinister. "Remember, from now on, I have the final say. You have no right to refuse. It's your good fortune I took a liking to your daughter. Otherwise, I might feed you both to the zombies." The daughter watches her mother's face turn blue, gasping for air. Tears stream down her face. "Please let go of my mom. I'll agree. I'll do whatever you want." Zhao San's about to handle both of them right there when a subordinate bursts in from the inner room. "Boss, those people downstairs, they actually dodged the flower pot." Zhao San's eyes go flat with contempt. A thrown flower pot? So what if they dodged? Could they possibly threaten him? He tosses the woman aside. "You're lucky today. Someone's looking for trouble. Saved your life for now. Don't let it happen again." He stands up. The girl drags her mother to a corner. 20-some men grab rebar clubs, kitchen knives, wooden sticks. Zhao San takes the front, bone-chopping knife in hand, grinning like a predator. 10 minutes of footsteps on the stairs. Then, bang, the security door gets kicked off its hinges. We appear in the doorway. 20-some armed thugs facing us with makeshift weapons. I scan the room, and my gaze lands on Zhao San at the very front. I can't help a sarcastic laugh. No wonder you're so arrogant. There's actually a Hotion Level 5 guy here. Zhou sees his strength too. But then his eyes sweep past Zhao San and land on the nearly naked mother and daughter crouched in the corner. His face goes white. Then it goes murder. "You beast! What use is there in keeping you alive?" Zhou moves like a cheetah, low, fast, explosive. Dagger drawn. He charges straight at Zhao San. Zhao San raises his bone-chopping knife with a blood-red scream. "How dare you call me a beast?" But in Zhou Ying's eyes, this guy is nothing. Raw strength, zero technique. The moment the knife swings down, Zhou Ying pauses, pivots, appears behind him. His left fist, full Hotion 7th layer power concentrated into a single point, punches straight through Zhao San's back. A massive hole opens. Blood and bone. Then Zhou Ying rotates with Zhao San's spinning body and slashes the dagger across his throat. The screaming cuts off. Thump! The lifeless body hits the ground. Blood fountains from his neck like a fountain. His eyes stay wide open, shock and unwillingness frozen on his face. He had Hotion Level 5. Not bad for the very beginning of the apocalypse. But raw power without training is just a nouveau riche facing a real martial artist. He never even got a chance to resist. I stare at Zhou Ying. When we fought zombies before, it was all wide, sweeping movements. No technique. But just now, that ambush, that pivot, that single flow kill, Even with my basic saber technique absorbed, if I got close to this man, I fear he'd kill me just as easily. The gap between trained combat skill and raw power is real, and I just saw it firsthand. Admiration and wariness fill me in equal measure. I make a mental note. Never let people like Zhou Ying, real fighters before the apocalypse, get close to me easily. That's a line I don't cross. The remaining 20-some thugs drop their weapons instantly. Hands on their heads, crouching, begging. Don't kill us. We'll go with you. Everything was Zhao San. He forced us. Zhou Ying shakes the blood off his dagger and sheaths it. He looks at the kneeling men with a frown. He killed Zhao San not just for the mother and daughter, but to establish authority. In the apocalypse, even a soldier can't just endlessly endure. But looking at these 20-some people, none of them seem like good sorts either. Should he kill them all? The mother and daughter crawl out of the corner, eyes wide with relief. The girl can barely speak. Are you really soldiers? Absolutely genuine, Zhou Ying says, his stern face softening. He reaches for his identification. No need. The girl waves her hands frantically. I believe you. Officer, please don't let those men off. They were all Zhao San's gang. They all bullied me and my mom. She's holding nothing back now. There are many more people locked in the inner room, residents who survived in this residential complex. Then she points at a middle-aged man hiding in the crowd. That man threw the flower pot at you. The middle-aged man, Hotion level 1, the pot thrower, goes ice cold. He'd been hiding in the crowd, hoping to play unconscious and slip through. Now his heart drops, but desperation takes over and his face twists with fury. You damn women, since I'm not surviving, you don't get to live either. He lunges. Swish. Before he covers 2 meters, a long arrow punches straight through his heart and pins him to the wall behind. Huang Zhong calmly puts his bow away, without a single ripple in his expression. The girl collapses on the ground, panting. Her mother clutches her, faces ashen. I send 4 soldiers to check the inner room. Sure enough, over 30 people crammed inside, crowded and gaunt from hunger, just as the girl said. Then I turn to Zhou Ying. Since we've rescued these people, there's no reason to keep this lot alive. Who knows if one of them will suddenly snap like that man just did. This is the apocalypse now. There are over 1,000 survivors outside. We cannot let the risk increase because of a few unpredictable people. Zhou Ying hesitates. 20 lives. He can't bring himself to order an execution, even knowing I'm right. The kneeling men are terrified, drenched in cold sweat, cursing the idiot who lunged in their hearts and desperately trying to figure out a way to survive. A moment later, one of them shouts with sudden excitement. 2 officers. I remember something very important. I know why Zhao San kept staying here. I hold up a hand. Oh, what? The day before yesterday, I overheard Zhao San mention a mutant bee swarm. He got powerful because he killed a mutant pig, and he was planning to find that mutant bee swarm in the next couple days. He also mentioned something about honey.